Okay, sounds good.
All right, so I will go ahead and start us off by reading the call out again. But any questions, comments, or concerns before we start?
I
No,
have to grab my purple notebook from the living room.
Okay.
But you
Sure,
can
go ahead.
start reading the call out if you want.
Okay. I realize I never fixed my D20. It was sitting. Everything else is right, and it's sitting there. But there's no point because the moment I roll it, it's just gonna be broken forever. Unless I roll a 20.
That
Okay.
never happens. Nobody rolls 20s.
Yeah, certainly not. So, each one of you is going about your daily lives, doing your thing, whatever it is that you do as, famous, successful persons of level 17 or whatever. When um, a a large albatross lands nearby with a message taped to, or attached to its legs, and it just kind of stares at you for a little while until each of you goes and eventually picks it up. Maybe somebody shot theirs and went and is like, oh hey, a note. Maybe one, maybe an albatross shit on somebody. Maybe it landed nearby. Who knows? Eventually, you all get the note. And as you are very curious about this note that isn't addressed to anyone in particular, but seems to have found you specifically, you unfurl it and begin to read, and find that it says, calling all adventurers. Amateurs need not apply. Seeking only masters of their trade for a great journey of legendary importance. Compensation upon success will be greater than any total sum any mortal has ever imagined. Details must be kept scant, lest prying eyes and greedy hearts get ideas into their head that might threaten the safety of this, the greatest mission of mankind. More information to be provided upon meeting. We seek from the greatest among all adventurers the following: a navigator, a cook, a diplomat, a historian and scribe, a doctor, an accountant, a burglar, a chaplain, an equestrian, and of course, muscle. Should you find yourselves the expert, or should you find yourself the experts in any of these fields, then know that you are invited. Read onward. If you are unsure even in the slightest, then this message is best left for the fire. You will be tested, you will fail, you will perish before ever you have the opportunity to place the success of this quest in jeopardy. Know this, your safety is not guaranteed, but rest easy knowing that a widow's bounty will accompany any and all who are accepted for this venture that will ensure the relative comfort of any designated beneficiaries, their descendants, and even their descendants. Upon signature of the adventure contract, an envelope containing a promissory note of 1 billion gold pieces will be delivered to the address of the designated party with a magical seal which can only be opened upon the insured's last breath and refusal of resurrection. Should you feel capable and brave enough for such a legendary undertaking, meet at the Bow and Ribbon within the port city of Polara. From there, seek out the courier. For reasons as yet to be disclosed, the journey will begin in the final turn of the year in the dead of winter. All parties must be present 1 week prior to cover the details and preparation for the quest. Yours, with care, the smallest voices. Now, as each of you has read this and notably taken interest, you have all begun to make your journey to the northern port city of Polara. We will begin our session as each of you enters the Bow and Ribbon and seeks out the person known as the courier. Paul,
Yeah.
being the navigator, you were chosen rather than invited, and so you will also be a part of the judgment process. The description I'm about to give of the Bow and Ribbon, you are actually already there, and when I describe, well, actually, I shouldn't describe because they'll have to find them. Anyway, the Bow and Ribbon is a small seaside inn where many sailors and fishing types, tend to spend their evenings and days. It's not quite a dive, but it's certainly not upscale. It's the kind of place that, well, it's average. It's just right, as it were. So as each of you enters the inn at varying times of day, we'll kind of give a very brief description of what's going on. But let's see, who's gonna be first? Any volunteers? No, had to pick somebody from
should
the
we
class.
roll for it?
Sure. Everybody roll a d20.
Neat.
Well,
Those rolls.
ding. It looks like you drew the short straw, and so you'll be entering the bow and ribbon first.
That's
Having
gonna be my one
arrived,
good roll of the night.
having arrived in the early morning, you will find that the bow and ribbon is mostly quiet. The goings on are, persons who are, most fishermen are already out fishing already, or they've already left. So anybody that's still hanging out here is likely just hung over from the night before. There are a pair of bars, one which is looks like it's just an alcohol bar, and then one on the other side which seems to lead back into the kitchen across like this. It doesn't have a second floor. It's just this long, flat, kind of like a rectangular almost building. So between the two, there's just a lot of empty space where tables and things like that are set up. But now it's just a couple of serving staff who are cleaning things up from the night before and getting things ready for the day. Within, you will see a small child sitting next to an elaborate like ebony and gold chest with several like glowing white runes and decorations and locks and things like that all over it. And then in addition to that, next to him, well, Paul, go ahead and give the description of your character.
Yeah, next to him, you've probably seen Dragonborn before, but not quite like this. He's... to say he looks shimmering brown would be maybe to, like, upplay how crappy he kind of looks. Like, it's not for the lack of necessarily hygiene or any of that sort of stuff. He just looks like he's been down on his luck a little bit, but yet somehow you feel like his like will exerts itself on you as you gaze up and down him. Like you want to talk to him, but at the same time you might be afraid to.
Okay. So those two characters sit at one table. Aside from that, are a few sleepy patrons. Some of them heads down, like one or two of them have their heads down on their table. One is probably sleeping in his morning porridge. And then off in the far corner is a group that look far too alert for this early in the morning. And as you enter the building itself, they watch your every step.
Right now, my character would just try to find a seat by himself.
Sure. Okay. I mean, there's
Yeah.
plenty of them. It's early morning. There's not a
Yeah.
lot going on.
Definitely, and he'll take one sort of off to the side.
Sure.
But also, just
as
to
you-
give a quick description of my character, he walks in with wearing a robe that is covered in eyes, and he has a rapier and small shield on his back, and on the shield is two snakes intertwined, biting their own tails. He does not look like he's from around anywhere anyone has seen. He stands out for sure.
Sure. So you've described what he's wearing, and
Yeah.
what
Oh, and he's
holding.
he is a keku, and he is he doesn't seem to be looking where he's going, but he seems to know exactly where he is. He has the cloak over his head.
Sure.
And he's just all
Oh.
jet black and but very well kept.
So all you can really see is like a beak sticking out of a hood.
Yes, jet black. Yeah.
Okay. Even his beak is black?
Yep.
Neat. Okay. So the Kenku enters the bar and goes to find himself a seat over by the side of things. Now, as soon as you sit down, almost as if materializing from the shadows, there is an elderly gentleman who is leaning down and handing you what looks to be a menu and asking you if you would like this morning's special.
No thanks. I have already eaten.
He looks at you kind of funny and shrugs before walking off. You're pretty sure that as the man walks off, that he seems to almost shimmer or be translucent in a sense, because the light almost passes through him, and after he's maybe 5-10 feet away from you, you just can't seem to see him anymore, even though you're pretty sure you should know where he is. So if you're gonna chill for a little while, we can go ahead and skip ahead to the nameless one, whose name is absent, and so therefore I can't call on them to do their thing. Let's say it's early, like maybe right around noon. So a little bit of activity has picked up within the tavern, within the inn itself. Lunch has been brought out. A few more patrons have come in, just regulars, nothing special. The small boy of approximately 10 years old is now sitting atop the chest with his feet dangling off the table. So the chest is on top of the table. And so now he's sitting on top of the chest on the table with his feet dangling, just kind of swinging them back and forth. While the Dragonborn likely looks bored and impatient, and the Kenku in the corner has refused all advances of any sort of meal and drink. So you enter, you see regulars, you see the Kenku, you see the child and the Dragonborn. You know that you are looking for the courier. What do you do? And tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, human male walks into the bar, quite confident in himself. With
I've heard this one before. It's really funny. Wait for the punchline.
Head wrap on his head with black hair coming out the back of it. He's wearing multiple layers of robes, just different mismatching colorings. You would almost mistaken him for a street beggar, if not for the air of confidence around him. On his waist, a single rapier and some very fancy shoes that don't seem to match the rest of the outfit.
Okay.
And then walking in, do I notice the chest the child is sitting on?
Yeah, absolutely. Like it stands out like a sore thumb. Like it's ebony and silver, ebony and platinum. It's decorated with runes. This kid is dressed in like a little tweed coat with a tweed carriage cap, and it's more of like the tweed cloak, so like doesn't even have sleeves on it. It looks very much like an English messenger boy, I suppose, to create the image for anybody else who's having trouble seeing him. Just very pale. He's looking around. He's got his hands planted on the chest, but the chest itself it's very, very noticeable.
I will walk over to that table and reach into the inside of one of my robes and slap the note from what was it? Albatross? Pelican?
Albatross.
Okay. Slap it onto the table and look at the boy and say, "You've got yourself a diplomat."
So as you approach, it's like he's not even looking at you. He's just kind of like off in his head, bobbing his head back and forth, kicking his feet. And then when you slam the parchment on the table, he starts and he looks at you and says, "Oh, hello. So you're here for the quest. A diplomat. Okay. Well, have a seat. We have a few more coming, and then, hopefully by the end of today, because today's the last day. So, you make 2. Have a seat." And he's just gonna kind of gesture behind him near the Dragonborn.
All right, and I will look at him. Wallace Einworst, at your service, and give him a slight bow and sit down.
I'm the courier, and you can call me the courier. And as you sit down behind him, he like flippantly speaks over his shoulder. He's like, "Oh, and that's the navigator. You two can make nice while I wait for the others."
I snort in turn.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just like snort and turn my head away from him. I don't like the
Talking to
name
fellow,
Wallace.
aren't you?
So remember again, you guys are level 17. So as soon as names are mentioned, unless you have a reason for your name not to be famous, then everybody's going to kind of have an idea of who you are and what you've done. We'll get there in a second once we get our final member in. But as we close in on evening, we have one more person who's going to be entering. Should I say person? One more creature entering the tavern, as it were. The inn itself is quite noisy now, full of regulars. Most of the day's fishing is done, and the servers are very busy back and forth. Both bars are full, and yet there's still been a wide berth around the table with the courier and Wallace and Rogar all day long. Ding has been doing whatever Ding has been doing. I'm not sure yet. But finally, the doors open and the child looks up almost expectantly. And in walks... Go ahead.
Well, the door is pushed widely open, but the creature that comes through it still kind of struggles to get through the threshold. I am an 8-foot centaur, and weighing roughly 1,800 pounds, it can be kind of hard to get through doors designed for much smaller bipeds. But she's wearing half-plate armor and leather barding all down her flanks, and the lower half of her looks kind of like what you would imagine a heavy farm horse or a Clydesdale to look like, with fetlocks and really large feet, really large hooves. And she walks in, and she's carrying a massive halberd just kind of slung over one shoulder. She's kind of shoving her shoulders through the door, and she takes a look around the now crowded bar, and she seems to be looking for something, but doesn't really know if she's found it. And so she just takes the end of her halberd and smacks it against the ground a couple of times, just to get the attention of everybody in the bar.
All right, so as the giant horse monster enters what is definitely not an adventurer's tavern, as has been plainly obvious to each of you being seasoned adventurers, everybody kind of stops what they're doing and stares at her. And so when she takes off the halberd, everybody starts backing away, expecting the worst. But as she starts banging it into the ground, there's like this collective sigh of relief. And the courier, who had been now lying back on top of the chest, will kind of raise himself to his elbows and look over, and then prop himself up and resume that same, like, sitting off the edge of the table, kicking his feet, like leaning forward with great interest as he watches the centaur do her thing.
I'm gonna lean over to the Dragonborn and just whisper, look at the size of that lass.
I am visibly impressed.
I seek the courier.
So as you speak up, the child stands up on top of his chest and vigorously waves his arm over at you and like beckons for you to come closer.
So she as delicately as she can, she tries to walk over there without stepping on anyone.
Sure.
But she might kind of bump against a couple tables and chairs and just kind of awkwardly moving over.
A few drinks are spilled, I'm sure. Maybe a plate or a tray dropped as you make your way over. And he hops down from the chest and just like begins to marvel at you. Just like this childlike fascination. He's just like, oh, I love horses. You're not quite a horse, are you?
No horse.
And
she kind of fiddles with a piece of paper that's clearly been crunched up many times in her bag, and it says equestrian muscle, and she kind of shows the paper right down in his face.
Well, I can certainly see that you have the expertise of equestrian, and I see no absence of muscles. Very well, then that would make That would make a good chunk of what we're looking for. If I, do you have seats? Can you have a seat? Do you mind waiting? There should be a couple more on their way.
I'll stand. Is there
Okay.
food?
Yes. At the mention of food, an elderly gentleman seems to materialize as though he had been standing beside you this entire time, and he hands a menu. This is for the lady.
She kind of looks at the menu.
Can you read?
I can read,
Okay.
kind of. She just kind of looks at him and apples?
Very well. And he, bows and wanders off, and a young woman approaches with a tray of, like, literally just a tray of apples.
Ah, yes, apples. Good, thank you.
She goes to set it on the table, but unfortunately the chest is the closest thing. So she goes to set it down on the chest. The moment that the tray touches it, it just disintegrates, along with all the apples, except for one that falls on the floor and rolls away.
No!
So, assuming that you go and retrieve the apple that rolled away, she lets out a small yip and scuttles back toward the kitchen. Okay. At this point, I believe Ding might know what's going on and would likely present himself.
I don't
One
understand
quick
what
thing.
just happened, so I wouldn't say I know what's going on.
Well, at least that this is who you're looking for. This is what you were called here for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Ding will stand up and present himself. And he will announce. He will remove his hood. To
Gasp.
It's not. He's not very special looking, but other than being all black, he announces himself as the emissary to the great chef, Richard's son, who is known throughout the land as the greatest chef in the world, and has served many kings and princes and great kingdoms. I am
Okay.
his emissary.
Okay. So we have a cook, he says. And is that to be all then? To be our scullery, is that right?
I myself am come as a burglar.
I see. That is most excellent. What did you say your name was?
Ding.
Is it actually Ding, or does he make like a bell chime?
He'll say ding, but yeah, it is a bell chime.
Okay.
But he's just
So
used to
that-
saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the small boy, completely ignoring the fact that a tray just disintegrated behind him, like that's a totally normal occurrence, turns to the four of you and says, "Well, that's almost all of us. Rogar, as I'm sure you're aware, as we've been treating these last couple of days, I will go and fetch the other three." And he turns and looks at each of you very carefully, and he says, "And it would be best if you didn't touch the package before, like, skipping off to one of the side rooms and returning. Oh, I don't know.
While he's
About
walking away,
Hold on. He'll return in about 5 minutes. So now you can do your thing.
while he's walking away, I'd like to use witch sight.
Okay. Which site? Form a shape creature concealed by illusion, transportation, within 30 feet. Are you looking to see his true form?
Yes.
Oh, he's a 10-year-old boy.
Okay, so he doesn't change. I guess I will still glance around the bar and see if anyone within the immediate vicinity seems off. Or
Yeah,
not as
like
they
so.
were.
So the elderly patron that seems to melt in and out of the shadows is actually literally just a shadow, and you can see that it's wearing some sort of banded collar with like runes around it, maybe marking it as an indentured servant of some sort. With which sight you would be able to see him quite clearly.
Munching on my apple, I just stick a hand out to Wallace, and I say, "Steropi Iron Shoe, at your service."
And I will extend a hand. Dom Rollins at your service.
Shake it.
Okay, so I suppose around this time the courier would return, unless anybody else has anything to go on.
Steropi's eating an apple.
Okay, so the courier will return with 3 gentlemen following behind him. One of them is an absolute klutz, but a portly dwarf who's just tripping over his own beard and everything else along the way. It just can't seem to keep his hands from doing something they shouldn't until he pulls out a small ledger and quill and begins like just rapidly writing something down as he notices a mug breaking nearby. Another one is a tall, slender elf woman who seems to be racked with a chronic cough. She wears a white coat and has a very thick collar and turtleneck, like just trying to keep herself warm. And then lastly is a broad-shouldered human who's way too tall for a human. Like he's almost 7 feet tall, and just like bedecked in various holy symbols and like all tattooed. Like just his whole body is tattooed with the various holy symbols of gods, and that and that and you know what? Sure. Okay, so the courier approaches the table with these 3 in tow and says to each of you, except for Rogar, who's already met the 3 of them, says, "This is Ferric Irongull," and the dwarf who can't seem to stop tripping over or stumbling into or crashing into things kind of steps forward, stepping on his beard and then slamming his head into the edge of the table. He kind of sits up, muttering curses to himself. And then instead of extending his hand like he is planning, he just kind of sticks it in his pocket while his other hand rubs at his forehead. And he says, "The accountant at your service." And then the courier turns the other and says, "This is Twinblade." And she gives a courteous, graceful bow, which is racked by a fit of coughing, as she says, "The doctor at your service." And then lastly, he turns to the 7-foot-tall tattooed monstrosity of a human. It says, "This is Robert Bobson." And he gives like a half bow, half curtsy, and says, "As you might have guessed, the chaplain." He says, "With this, we seem to have accumulated all of those that were required. I have purchased each of you a room in the inn, and tomorrow morning we will begin in earnest preparation for our journey, and I will provide you with more details. Are there any questions before we retire?"
individual rooms, or am I to share a room with one of these colorful fellows?
We thought it best that you begin the bonding experience early.
Is my room on the first floor?
As well, Miss Ironshoe, this inn only has one floor, so yes.
She snorts and nods.
So, no further questions.
Uh,
The courier. Oh, go ahead.
just Ding says, I have no problem staying with these fine people, but my master will not be staying with us tonight. He has his own residence.
Will your master be accompanying us on the journey?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were his envoy in body as well as name, but it seems as though not. Okay. All right, so he's going to place a single key down on the table, and then like he drags the chest off the table with a loud crash as it thuds into the floor, and he just like with Herculean effort bodily hauls this thing out of the room off to a private residence within the inn. If you
Small
ahead.
boy doesn't have much strength.
He stops about 10 feet away and wanders back to the table. He says, "Oh, and in case you didn't get the ideas yourselves, this is an excellent opportunity to make introductions for those of you that don't happen to know who you'll be adventuring with. As the finest of your craft, I would presume each of you to be famous. I recommend as an icebreaker, just telling everybody else about one or two of your accomplishments. How about that?" And then he skips back to his chest and begins just like dragging it out.
Quiet
Wow,
folks, aren't you? And I guess I'll stand up. I am Barnaby Conrad, Duke for
Steropi
the
looks
Kingdom of
confused.
Shafara. I come
Okay.
as a diplomat to help negotiations on this adventure.
Is Barnaby Conrad a Duke of Shafara?
As far as everyone's aware.
Right. So like that's okay. So that's something that people may have heard of or may know.
And on his right hand, he has a ring on his middle finger, which has the seal of the Kingdom of Shafara.
Okay.
Steropi pulls out a small little notebook and starts trying to spell out Barnaby Shafara and is just kind of struggling.
You mean Barnaby Conrad?
Barnaby
Yeah.
Conrad, yeah.
All right. Now I don't know that dukes have worldwide renown, so you might get a few glances of recognition. The dwarf is like, "Oh, I've been balancing the books of Shafar for." He starts counting on his fingers. "This could take a while. Go ahead."
And I am Steropi Ironshoe. That's all.
Okay.
I am the slayer of many men to the north with the mercenaries. I'm here to keep you alive. And she kind of just puts a big hand on Ding's shoulder and gives him a pat. And then she kind of leans down towards him. You're the cook? Do you know how to make oatmeal?
I do know how to make oatmeal, but I am not the cook. It is my master, the great Richard's son, who is the cook.
Ah, you'll be a good cook. We'll eat much oatmeal together.
When exactly do we get to meet this oh so great Richard?
He shall appear when the time is necessary.
Is Richard's son a famous person?
Yes, very well known.
Okay. All right. So then everybody at the table should have at least heard of the great Richard's son in some regard.
Has he ever
I
been
would say
seen,
the-
or just by name only?
No, he's been seen.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
so
you may know that he's not a Keku. Or you, but
Yeah. So he's not a Kenku, but
Kenku,
like
yeah,
tell
he's-
us about some of Richard's accomplishments, like one or two things.
he is well known for ingratiating himself with the wealthy and high-powered and serving them meals. Sort of puts on a show of it, traveling around from place to place. Though there are rumors of losses of property and thefts in his wake, but there's never been a direct connection. It is a scandal that has followed his name, though, you may be aware of.
All right. So we know a little bit about Richard's son.
He's also known to be elderly
Okay.
and has been around for a long time.
Sure. But his what makes him the greatest chef?
Hmm.
He makes a fine oatmeal.
Yeah, I mean, other than being a good cook, a lot of it has to do with the presentation and just the reputation he has built up by serving such wealthy people.
Okay. So it's kind of a trickle down fame for the sake of being famous. It's not like he's perfected or created anything legendary. It's more so that somehow he's worked his way into all of the upper crust.
He started out
Okay.
just by making good gumbo, but he expanded from there.
Okay. So that's the great Richard's son. Let's hear a little bit about Ding. What makes Ding famous? What has he accomplished?
Ding has traveled with Richard's son and been his emissary for about the last decade or so, and is sort of But in terms of him being famous on his own, there's not much. He's just
By association, sort of thing.
it's just the association to Richard.
Well, it seems to make sense. Being a Kenku and thus a natural master of mimicry, perhaps he can even mimic his kitchen efforts.
It's just
Are there any things that Ding would be willing to brag about in terms of his qualifications as a master burglar?
probably not to the group.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
All right.
Maybe
I remember that is
we'll loosen your
that
tongue a
is
little bit.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, it's like this is a group that's clearly not law enforcement, but that's fine. You can open up later.
Yeah.
How about Steropi then?
I have traveled between mercenary groups for 15 years. I have slain the great hill giant to the far northern mountains, and I have come here as the equestrian muscle.
Perhaps taking it a bit too literally, they were looking for an equestrian master and a muscle. Not necessarily an equestrian muscle.
She pulls out the paper and just nods vigorously. Equestrian muscle. Equestrian muscle. Me. Steropi Iron Shoe.
Of course, she doesn't mention that somebody had to tell her what equestrian meant.
Oh, it's so good.
but no. Like out of character. What's an like whatever a hill giant? Like 8th level adventurers do that. What have you done that makes you, you know, what is your level 17 accomplishment?
I've
Do
just
you
kind
guys
of-
need like an idea of what that might be?
maybe.
Okay, so like slaying a dragon. That's like a big dragon. That's a level 17 accomplishment. Preventing several kingdoms from going to war. Stealing a legendary artifact right out from under the nose of somebody, or like say you stole a vial of water from an elder brain pool, like that would be a legendary accomplishment. Setting fire to an entire fleet alone by yourself, and saving or destroying or whatever the purpose was, that kind of thing. Like grand accomplishments, not just like, oh yeah, I killed a hill giant, or like I did a thing, I'm a duke. No. What's big about you? You should be internationally recognizable by name at least.
Probably the one that makes the most sense for me is to have actually set an entire fleet on fire on my own.
Okay. So maybe Steropi stood in the shallows alone, as an encroaching fleet was going to do something bad. It doesn't really matter what, and being the only one brave enough to face down an entire fleet on her own, somehow managed to set alight and destroy all of them. And it's something in the realm of like 500 ships. And that's the legend anyway. So maybe your character would even have the nickname like Fleetfire or something.
Maybe.
Okay, then let's go on to Rogar.
Okay. So your characters would have heard of a thing that happened what feels like a lifetime ago, called the extinguishing of the bronze flame, in which basically the brass dragon can kind of did some atrocious things in creating Dragonborn to become soldiers in their personal army, and trying to like take back whatever dignity they think they had lost or whatever, because the brass dragons are generally considered like one of the more inferior, weaker ones in the dragon kind. So they wanted theirs. They did some gross stuff, and Rogar was unfortunately in another lifetime a general in that army, basically. And he's trying to just keep his head down about it. He doesn't like to talk about some of the terrible things he may have done, and the fact that his name was probably strewn across the lips of many damned souls because of it.
So Rogar's a little more infamous, is that right?
He's more infamous, yeah. So, like, the fact that when his name was said, and nobody was like, or whatever in this group, like, I'm starting to feel a little more comfortable now. It's
Sure.
like, oh, okay. We're not...
Well, I mean...
in
Go
like,
ahead.
Yeah. No, that's basically it.
Yeah, I was gonna say there may have been a few gasps. We just hadn't made the out of character introductions yet.
Right.
So, like the name Rogar would be famous across the land as like this like tyrannical general who committed great atrocities. Like pick one. What's a great atrocity that you committed? Did you burn a village of puppies? Did you
Village
kick an
of
orphanage?
puppies. I mean, I guess the big one is the basic trying to like just treacherous against like your own kind, like dragons against dragons, Civil War type thing, and the whole like this is kind of a shitty thing to do.
Maybe Rogar led a sortie that led to the destruction of like an entire gold dragon hatchery. Then,
Yeah, exactly. Something
so like
treacherous like that.
hundreds of gold dragon eggs were destroyed.
And like the dragons are used to fighting each other, like the chromatic and the metallics and stuff like that. This was like
Yeah.
the same side fighting against each other. And
Yeah.
when think Anakin killing all the Padawans,
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
killing younglings.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What do we do?
So yeah, that's what he's unfortunately famous for. The other thing he's more fortunately famous for is being one of the first of his kind to discover a fusion of melee sword fighting techniques with his natural magical prowess, basically becoming a sword fighter with he's known for his burning blades, and foes that have fought him and lived have described the feeling of being surrounded like there were multiple hundreds of swords around them attacking all at the same time.
Okay. Neat. All right. Anybody else want to crank up the fame now that we kind of have an idea of how that goes?
Well, we've had a bit of fun, and who you all know as Barnaby at the current moment pulls off his head wrap and his form changes to a different looking human male.
I'm sorry. His form changes from a human to another human is so good.
So for Steropi, who is probably of the camp that all humans look the same, you know.
She pulls out her little book and looks at the name she scribbled down and looks at him. Just kind of nods, puts the book back.
Now, granted,
Seamus
anybody.
Conway, Master Swindler. And this would be a name people know.
Okay.
Okay.
So how would they know Seamus?
So in his past, Seamus was able to convince a king of a kingdom that he was selling a rare golden dragon egg, where it was in fact just a piece of garbage painted gold. And he made off with a large sum of money, around 500,000 gold.
Okay.
And he is a very wanted man because of it.
Okay. That's medium fries. You got any large fries for swindling? I don't know, something that springs to my mind is like literally conning himself into becoming a king or a monarch of some sort.
Well, as the Duke of Shafara, he visits other kingdoms and lives the life of luxury, impostoring as a fake duke
Sure.
in order to get people serving him hand and foot, and he's been doing that for years. In addition, he also seduced the wife of a land baron and convinced her to write over all the land ownership to him.
Sure.
And then dumped
Okay.
her.
Okay. Have you instigated any wars? Have you what's a real big thing?
I don't know. On a massive scale like that,
Yeah, because like seducing a land baron, living it up as a duke, you can do that at level 10, 11, 12.
I suppose that would be under the name Seamus Conway, however.
Mm-hmm.
But Seamus goes with many names
Sure.
in many empires.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Maybe you've instigated one of the wars that Steropi fought in as a mercenary.
Possibly. But
He's
all
not
right,
so much an
that's-
instigator, but more a money fiend.
Mm.
And he
So-
will put the hat back on.
Mm.
Oh, fuck, I didn't have that token ready. There we go.
Beard and all.
Yeah. Yep. seems so. Okay, so now that you all kind of have an out of character idea of who you're dealing with in character, it might let you more naturally, discuss among yourselves. Now, within that group, there is also, as mentioned, Ferric Irongull, who is a very famous dwarf accountant. Rumor has it that all of his wits go to numbers, and he has just like almost more famous than his head for numbers is his natural clumsiness, just like a dexterity that is embarrassing, really, even for a dwarf. It is rumored that he often keeps his his beard cut short just so that he'll stop tripping over it. Or that he lets it grow long because he is afraid that if he were to try to use a blade to cut it, that he would cut his own head off. And there might be some credence to that, as you can see several like long razor cuts along his cheeks, and when you are able to see it, like his neck and his fingers, just like everywhere bears some sort of like razor scarring and things like that. But when it comes to numbers, there's nobody better. Twilla Twinblade, the elf doctor, is a bit of an anomaly herself because she's got little noodly arms and is always racked by a cough, and yet it is said that there is no illness that she hasn't written the book on. So for mundane medicine, there is nobody better. It is also said that she is known to dabble in magic, but just never really. She didn't possess the necessary talent to go very far in it. And then, of course, there's Robert Bobson, the tattooed chaplain, who it said he's a mercenary. Everybody knows who Robert Bobson is. He comes from a long line of other Robert Bobsons. They're all mountains of men. They are always tattooed in all the symbols of the gods, and they claim, at least, that they are marked at birth, and that the gods speak to them, and that the women just come from wherever in the Bobson family, but all the men look almost exactly the same, no matter who the mother is. The seed is strong, as it were. Not the brightest of bulbs, but can definitely tell you a thing or two about just about every deity in the book, and maybe a few that aren't. Now, with that being said, that's a general idea of who you're traveling with. Any questions, concerns, comments?
Eric would know of Seamus because he's kind of fucking up his books.
Yep.
By swindling people.
Sure. And I'm sure that you've noticed Ferric giving you several sidelong glances and twiddling with his beard, except then the rings that he's wearing get tangled in the beard, and he's gonna yank them out, and you'll see there's long curly hairs attached to all of his rings. From where he's just been fiddling with it, and then they get caught, and then he's got to pull them out, and every once in a while he'll wince as he does so, but definitely giving you the side eye. But Ferric Irongull is the accountant to basically everybody in the world. If you have a great sum of money and need to know what to do with it or how to count it, Ferric is the one to trust. Legends say that even dragons trust them in their horde, or trust him in their horde.
Yeah, Ferric's a good friend. To the dragons. Not to me, personally, but...
Yeah. Rogar would also know Ferric. That's fair. Being the man that balances the books, not just for men, but dragons, you would definitely have heard his name, if not have run into him before.
Mm-hmm.
If it makes you feel any better, Ferric, I've spent it all.
He looks at you and sniffs and pulls out one of his other notebooks and starts writing things down while looking at you. And you can see, at the end, you can just make out that he's writing, it says, "Spent it all, question, question, question." And he starts muttering to himself. He's like, how could one person... He says, there's no way. There's no way. And then he just starts counting to himself. Anybody else? Anything else? Retire to the room for the evening and pick up in the morning? Yep, sounds like that's the plan. Okay, so you retire to your in-room. You will find that it is a single large room with, let's see, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 beds prepared. Almost as though they knew you were coming, but weren't anticipating Ding's master not being present. So there is a hay cot, a fine bed, and just like varying degrees that make it very obvious who was supposed to sleep where. But other than that, unless anybody has anything particular for the bedding, then we'll go ahead and move on to the next day. No? Okay.
Ding climbs up on the ceiling and sleeps on the ceiling.
Sure. Within the rafters?
Yeah. Well, no, just
What's it?
walking on the ceiling.
Oh, okay. Does he ignore then the carefully placed hammock that was put up in the ceiling itself?
Yes.
Okay.
That's
Says no to beds.
quite a neat trick, and I will cast Spider Climb. Just walk up next to him.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Hello.
And then jump off of the ceiling.
Right. Peacocking early. I like it. Do Kenku peacock?
I certainly hope not.
I don't.
All right. So the night passes, unless anybody's doing anything, and it passes rather uneventfully. You find that a few people in your company are snorers. Ferric seems to choke on his own beard several times through the night, and it takes Twella multiple attempts to somehow right the dwarf's beard, and she ends up basically braiding it for him to keep him from choking to death. Robert spends several hours in prayer before finally drifting off himself, and then each of you do your own thing.
Ding makes cicada noises during the night.
Wonderful. So the room is serenaded by perfect imitations of like harmonic cicadas, or just a single cicada.
It's like it's summer in Japan and it's full of cicadas.
Sure. Okay, so
Sterope pokes him with the butt end of her halberd. Hush, bird!
It shivers and it increases in loudness.
Hush, bird! Poke, 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 poke.
Scooches off to the side.
sure. So eventually everybody gets to sleep. The night passes rather uneventfully, aside from the snoring, the several hours of prayer to basically every deity and then some, and of course the comedy of Ferric, somehow clumsy even in sleep. Aside from that, sun rises, and there is a gentle rapping at your door. Before anybody can get up to answer it, it begins to open, and there you find the courier with his large box behind him. And he says, "I hope you're ready to begin your day." He drags the chest into the room, closes the door behind him, sits on it, and says, "Now, if each of you would come to attention, I will tell you a little bit more about what it is that we're doing." Assuming that there are no issues, he will begin. He says, "We have gathered each of you here for, as you know, a journey of most greatest importance. We journey to the legendary fortress of Kelgren. Now, a few of you may have heard of it before, but it is a fortress far to the northern edge, at the what is called the end of the world. And there at the end of the world, he says, we must deliver this package. I am the courier, and your job is to ensure that I get there, and to ensure that the package is delivered. If there are any further questions related to that, you may direct them to Rogar."
I nod.
As our chief navigator, it is said that he knows the way as well as the legends, so I will leave him to it.
How long should we expect before we see our pay?
As was discussed in the message, you will see your pay upon completion.
Or death.
Upon your death.
I meant more of, how long do you think this adventure is going to take?
He turns to Rogar and says, Rogar?
If we're lucky, no more than 3 months. About a 2-month journey from now.
So a 2-month journey there and a 2-month journey back would mean that by the time you arrive back, it would be at least 4 months, accounting for potentially a down month or maybe even a week to actually accomplish the task.
Yeah. Let's say 5 months. Or, death.
Why would such a small boy do such a dangerous thing?
Says, I am the courier, miss. It is my destiny to carry this package to its destination. I speak for the smallest voices.
She kind of holds her halberd up to him and like she's measuring how tall he is, and then she shrugs and...
Average height for a 10-year-old human boy.
She nods and just says, small. Yes, small.
Well, if there are no further questions, then each of you should make sure that you are well prepared, well provisioned, and well stocked. We will be leaving in 6 days, so you have that much time to explore the city of Polara. If you have been here before, you shouldn't need to. Our ship is the Express. It is a city ship owned by Polara, but they are graciously lending it to the smallest voices, as our representation is known to secret channels worldwide.
Okay. Sounds good.
You guys should probably ask your navigator some questions.
So we're looking at about a 2-month journey north from here. If we are lucky enough to survive and navigate the icy waters, we will arrive at a port and titled Port Nicholas, and where we can collect our thoughts and stay for a moment before proceeding to a township that I personally have not been to before and have heard very little of, called Tassan's Village.
Also, worth noting, I didn't put this in there, but you will need to make a pit stop along the way, because a 2-month journey north is a long journey for a ship.
Yeah.
But you'll be making a provisional stop at an island, which is known colloquially as the Island of Misfits.
We will be stopping at a place called the Island of Misfits. So, perfect place for our little group to make a pit stop. And then from there, we'll go to Kelgren's Fortress, probably die, and then our loved ones and beneficiaries will gain a bunch of money. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
There should seriously be some questions asked here.
Who is Kelgren?
Well, I don't know too much about the name itself, but I'm told that if we were to believe legend anyway, that this fortress is going to be guarded by a fair number of creatures that we must be able to defeat before we can even get inside the fortress. And then even if we get inside the fortress, there's a creature inside that is basically a god or something like that. So, you know, he seemed like an important fellow. This seemed about right for a group of our stature to take on.
You can read it verbatim if you want. That section. That might give a little more information.
I mean, I guess the specific part that we should know about that I don't assume is going to be asked about is that rumors say that the common tongue is not reached the civilization beyond the infamous port of Port Nicholas and beyond, so we might not want to speak common there. Apparently, those who dare to speak it are put down in a most gruesome fashion. So unless you would like to
the gruesome
figure that
fashion. The gruesome fashion, as your skilled navigator would know, is that you are placed upon a frozen pole, and your entrails are cut out, and you are left to freeze, left only warmed by the blood inside you. So they basically wrap you in your own warm organs and entrails, and then you freeze to death.
But on the plus side, rumor has it that those who have ventured there and back spoke in the tongue of elves and gnomes.
Not a tongue I speak.
I dabble in Elvish as much as a dragon of my kind would.
This will be a problem.
I'm going to look over at Pascal now, as he's apparently known.
He hasn't told you what his new name is.
You, named one. Do you speak in a tongue other than common?
Aye, Pascal Nisbeth does speak Elvish.
I look over at the group kind of wearily and like, see? Going to be okay. Oh, why does Elvish not appear on my thing?
I don't know.
Is it not on my sheet?
You probably need to put it in there.
Oh, I probably have to drag it in from the library. Okay.
Since I speak other languages than common, but Elvish is not one of them, so I doubt any of you know the languages I speak.
Oh yeah, try me.
Alright.
First he starts talking in Orin.
Oh, you can actually type in those languages.
Yeah,
Oh,
in
really?
the chat.
Yeah, in the
How?
chat, you click the language selection,
Uh-huh.
and then click on the language you want, and then type a message.
Hold on, I don't have one of my languages in here.
Right? That's what I'm working on as well.
Where do you find them? Other ones?
They're
Add
on
to
your
your sheet.
abilities tab.
Oh, is it maybe because I put Elvin, not Elvish?
Probably.
Okay.
But if I just type in one, will it
I don't know.
work for that? Let's
We
see.
can find out.
Make sure I spell it right. Does this work?
That is a lot of gibberish, yes.
Looks like it worked.
I need not speak. In the heat of battle, point me towards the enemy, and I shall attack them at your sign.
Yeah, it looks like it worked, Paul.
There it is, yeah. Okay.
Hey.
Neat.
All right. Yeah, it is neat. That way
That
we
is.
can send secret messages if we want.
Yeah.
All right. So, seriously, I'm going to recommend you guys ask some questions about the journey, because you do need to be prepared.
What supplies need we on this trip?
We're going to need to stay warm, so definitely a set of winter gear is necessary, even just to be outside for any amount of time, basically. Seas are dangerous. You just gotta know that at any time we might run into some icebergs, whirlpools, that sort of nature. If you've ever been on the sea before, you know what to expect, but there's creatures, they say, that lurk out there that we'd best be on our toes to basically just be at all times be looking around. We're going to need food supplies, as food will be scarce and our stops will be few in our journey. We will be able to, at our pit stop, probably get a few basic rations, but anything that otherwise would be basically, if you couldn't hunt it and sell it in a hut, maybe don't expect it. So while we're in a city, let's make sure we get as much stuff as we can for at least, let's say, half a year's worth of journey.
This is no trouble! And then I just cast create food and water, and suddenly there's buckets and buckets of water and just plates and plates
oats.
of food and oats and just all sorts of things.
Okay.
I'm impressed.
Garbage food.
Okay.
So, 45 pounds of food and 30 gallons of water.
A fine breakfast before our journey.
Indeed. So, like, looking at this food, I'm gonna just turn to Ding and say, can you make any of this taste good?
It's
It
magic
already
food,
tastes
right?
good.
It's just
And then she just starts
inherently
eating a
just
bunch of
doesn't taste good.
carrots.
The food is bland but nourishing.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
But a master chef should be able to do something with it.
Need spices, flavor. But that could, if we are held up on space for real food, yes, summoned food plus spices could be sufficient for our journey.
Okay.
Okay.
Also, if we just carry with us some gem encrusted bowls, could use Hero's Feast. But those are expensive. If you want to
Is
spend
the
1,000 gold per meal.
is the child still in the room?
Yes, he's sitting on the chest.
Yeah, okay. Towards the child.
The courier.
Sure. Wouldn't you think that on such an adventure where we need to put our lives on the line, that an allowance would be provided in order to equip ourselves? And is that
do
something
you
I can
need?
use persuasion on?
Sure. He looks down, looks back up, says, "We had anticipated that you in particular, should you showed up, might have such a question. And yes, there is a small allowance for each of you."
How small?
Well, you go and get what you need, and you submit your receipts to us, and we will compensate you for what we feel is necessary for the journey, and not a thing more.
Right. We should
We hear
discuss as a
noises of-
group our weak points and find items that could help supplement them.
There's noises as Steropi eats carrots.
I hope you guys like gumbo. I think we're gonna be eating a lot of it.
If the worst were to happen, do any of you know any way to resurrect from the dead or heal? Because if not,
Yep.
we should look into potions. We might still should look into potions.
After a loud swallow, Steropi says, I could heal.
Okay. I think we should each try to purchase a potion of healing. If the worst were to happen, the waters will kill us very quickly. So maybe some potions of water walking as well, in case the worst happens to our boat.
I need not this thing.
Okay.
So I'm gonna write down that stuff.
Sure.
During our journey, I can use control weather to give us 8 clear hours a day.
I'm going to do this to save you guys a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm just going to read what I sent to Paul because nobody is asking the questions that some of the questions that should be asked. But this will give you a little bit more of an idea of what you're in for. We'll just go ahead and say that this is coming out of Rogar's mouth, or maybe the courier.
Actually, you know what? I
but
have these
probably
as notes in the thing. Let me just make them public so everybody can read them if they want.
Well, sure. I'll read it out loud anyway, but
Okay.
to reach the legendary fortress of Kelgren is a 2-month journey north from the port city of Polara. From there, if all is successful and you're able to navigate the treacherous icy waters, you'll arrive at Port Nicholas after making a pit stop at the Island of Misfits. But even that is not the end of the journey. Access to Kelgren's fortress is preceded by a strange township called Tassan's Village. Legends say that the fortress is guarded by a number of powerful creatures that must be defeated before a foot can even be stepped inside the fortress itself. If the creature inside the fortress can be treated with, then the powers of a god are at the beck and call of those who are capable of doing so. Your experienced navigator knows that rumors say the common tongue has not reached the infamous port, nor any civilization beyond. A sacred tongue is spoken there, and any who dare speak common are put down in a most gruesome fashion. According to rumor, from those who claim to have ventured there and returned, the tongue of elves and gnomes is accepted. Port Nicholas itself is an ice shelf, and the cold is said to be so intense that even Yeti dare not tread outdoors without their coat. Sans village is even deeper still into the cold. The land is dotted with little and less foliage or forageable supplies. Once you've left Polara, one must be absolutely prepared for the journey. The seas are dangerous, not only because of natural hazards like icebergs and whirlpools, but the creatures that call such a cold hellscape their home are just as hardy and dangerous. It is whispered that there are guardians to the fortress beyond the fortress's direct defenders, and wild creatures of power enough to rival even the greatest of adventuring parties. It is no easy journey, and countless numbers have tried and failed to even arrive at the icy shores of Port Nicholas. Some would call it a bardic suicide, and once upon a time it may have been, but most within the world have forgotten about the fortress and what treasures are said to be within, and too many have gone before and died to make it worthy of song or remembrance. That help illuminate things a little bit?
Okay, so those of you that say you can use your magic, that's all fine and good, but at this point you would also know that you probably wouldn't want to use magic slots to make food or weather or whatever where supplies will do. So, things we will need. We will need the ability to make and hold a fire. So we should bring stuff like wood and lumber, stuff that will burn easily. I still think we should all have at least a potion of water walking as a, oh shit, our boat has sunk to the depths and we need to make a run for an hour across the water and hope for the best situation rather than fall with it. I think we should all take at least one potion of healing. Any other suggestions? Like, obviously clothes. Like, we need warm clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, winter gear.
The winter gear.
I don't know how hooves do on ice and snow, but if you need something to, like, winter boots or something, or, like, cleaves of some sort to be able to not
Cleats?
slip. Cleats, yeah.
Huh. Maybe.
I mean, you would know better than I, since you're the one who walks with your feet.
We all walk with feet.
Indeed.
Is your ship equipped for naval combat?
Are you asking the courier?
Well, I assume the navigator, since he works on the ship.
Oh, this isn't my ship. This is being lent to us.
Yeah. City ship.
I would also
so
like
the
to know this
courier-
info.
The courier pipes up and says, "The Express is fast enough to not need to engage in naval combat, but should it come to that, yes, it does have a ram and a few ballista, and reinforced siding. A few magic tricks here and there as well."
Is there a D&D equivalent of, like, water purification tablets? I guess just, like, charcoal or something?
As charcoal.
There's a spell for it. Also.
Yes, that too.
Okay, do any of us know that? Because that might be an okay one to just do if we need it.
Yeah, I
I
know.
think that's actually a cantrip.
Yeah,
Or,
okay.
or
For
very
five-
low level.
For your 5 food and drink, it's first level.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. If we get into that situation, I think that's probably an okay thing to use a spell slot on. That seems like such a niche thing.
So he didn't mention
tw-
cannons on the ship?
No.
No. Okay, so we don't need to worry about buying cannonballs and powder.
No.
We need stuff like
the ship,
tents as well.
Yeah, the ship itself comes equipped with what it needs. But Twella will also speak up and say, "I know a thing or two about purifying food and drink."
Okay. Cool. Tents, bedrolls, all that sort of stuff. Obviously.
Yeah.
Adventure gear. Crap.
Okay.
We should take an excess of torches.
Should we provision a cart rather than making this child lug around this chest?
A cart will
fine.
need
I'm
a
sure he's
pack
fine.
animal.
Is that
I think we all
volunteering?
look at her.
Yeah.
She stomps one big hoof and says, "I am no mule."
Are you saying you are not strong enough to carry the object?
Strong enough. Puny bird. And she pokes him with the end of her halberd a little bit.
I just thought it would be easy for you.
Is it easy for a king to pull a cart?
No, because a king is not so physically strong.
A king has too much dignity.
He's fat.
Is that a word you know? Dignity?
Wow.
I know it. 'Tis a funny word, dignity. But the iron shoe pulls no cart.
The courier leans over and whispers, and says to no one in particular, "Perhaps we should buy her some different shoes then."
Okay. Nobody's asking you to pull the cart anymore. Let's move on. I thought it was a
So?
good idea, though, for what it's worth. Rumble. Okay. That's all I can really think of that we would need immediately. But like, since
Well, it's fine to lean on your character's knowledge as well, because you guys personally don't make journeys to the end of the world, where the weather is so it's like going to Antarctica in the winter kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't expect you guys to know exactly what you need, but so don't be afraid to lean on character knowledge. But it is good to have the discussion of things that you do need, just in concept rather than specifics, and what your plan is going forward. I have been very scant with details as to what it is exactly you guys are expected to do at each step of the journey, and you can ask me those questions.
Okay, what are we supposed to do at each step of the journey?
Various things to answer with like.
I mean, if you don't ask, you'll never get an answer, right?
That's true. No, step 1 will be to journey to the Island of Misfits.
Yeah,
Resupply.
I want to know what I know about the Island of Misfits, my character.
Sure. So give me a history check.
Oh, okay.
I guess given my character's history as a charlatan, would he be familiar as well?
Give me a history check.
Could you just pull this dice out and then roll it?
You have to roll it into the chat box.
Or you can double click it.
Or you can double click?
Or you
Okay.
Yeah, but that's not as fun as actually rolling it.
Okay, let me try this out again here then. Dope. Okay.
Okay. So both Rogar and Pascal will know that the Island of Misfits is rumored to be a place where those who are too misshapen for society go to congregate. Those children that are cast onto the rocks that a passing mermaid sees and rescues are said to be sent to the Island of Misfits. Another a soldier who's deformed on the battlefield and can no longer return home might find safe haven on the Island of Misfits. A bakeress whose oven explodes and scars her horribly with burns would find safe haven on the Island of Misfits, that kind of thing. The island itself is said to be self-sustaining. Despite it being so far north, it is fed by a natural current that is warm and keeps the weather quite livable. Supposedly there is a hot spring that runs through as well. They are able to irrigate and farm. So it is self-sustaining, but it is not thriving.
Okay.
Rogar, having been there before, we'll say, has a little bit of additional knowledge, knowing that there isn't really a governmental structure. Each person in the Island of Misfits represents themselves. And so everybody you treat with might have a different answer or suggestion, or even, they all have the exact same level of authority, which is individual in nature. So nobody can offer you what isn't theirs.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, I guess the other question I would have is, even though I've been navigating and kind of on my own, searching, like, going around the world or whatever, I don't particularly love sailing, because it's harder to do as, like, a single unit, basically, or, like, with random people. I've done it before, but I probably don't know what type of creatures and hazards we could hit in Arctic waters. Would I? Or can I roll something to see if I would have an idea?
Let's see. Oh man, all of my buttons got changed. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
That's something else that got fudged with.
Because, like, I've been on the water before, but maybe not Arctic waters, and definitely not that far north.
How about nature?
Sure.
So, I mean, your standard affair like giant squid, sharks, there may be a few brave pirates. Um, really, it's the biggest things that you would want to look out for are going to be like the legendary Leviathan or dragon turtles or even storm giants are known to make their homes out there. Like if there's any sort of like underwater mountain where a storm giant might be able to have an air pocket, they more than once call that their home.
What about just the way weather systems work with wind in sails when you get to a colder climate?
It's definitely stormier,
Okay.
especially in the winter. The seas will be rough.
Okay. All right. Do any of you get seasick?
I need a quick point of clarification. Is the fortress of Kelgrin in Tissan's village, or that's just another stop on the way to the fortress?
It's the last stop on the way.
I believe I clarified, but maybe I didn't. But you can see the fortress of Tissan the fortress of Kelgrin from Tissan's village.
Oh, okay.
I picture it like the fortress is maybe on like a ridge or ledge, and it's just kind of at the foot of
like-
that ridge or ledge.
Yeah. Okay.
Are there
Just
any
wondering
like?
if there's a reason to go to the village, or if we could just like skirt around?
Oh, I see.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is it necessary to go to such a horrible place? Anyway, you were saying seasickness.
I'm going to assume none of us get seasick.
No.
Easily, anyway.
Twella is prone to seasickness.
Oh no, of course she is. God damn it.
And then, does anybody have a constitution below 10?
Nope.
No? Oh, okay.
No.
Then
Hope
no,
not.
you should all be fine.
Yeah.
Again, Ding is going to suggest that he can make the weather a little better for periods during the trip.
Yeah, that'll come in handy for sure. Okay.
Anything else?
I can't get. Why is it called the end of the world? If we know, the world should just keep going. There shouldn't be an end to it.
So the courier pipes up. He says, "It is referred to the end of the world because those who go there do not return, and if you were to keep going, it would take quite some time before you ended up anywhere else where man has been."
That's fair. Ding
Okay,
looks a
so
little
real
more
quick-
settled.
Real quick on the supplies that we need. We've said winter gear, snowshoes for anyone that needs it, wood, tinder, lumber, i.e. stuff for a fire, potions of water walking and potions of healing, tents, torches, a cart and mule, and if anybody wanted extra weapons, along with food for a sea trip of at least a month before we get to the island.
Yeah, and Ding would have specific food requests for making
Sure.
different kinds of delicious gumbo throughout the journey.
Yeah.
Stuff that keeps easily.
Yep.
Um,
And different spices.
I want to bring up the fact that if we bring a mule, it's going to die. That is going to be a dead animal. Probably. So maybe the cart and mule is something we should think about doing without at a point. Like, I think the island is where we can stock up on the wood specifically, because we will probably be able to find basic stuff like that. And then we might even be able to take the mule to the, like, port in the north, and then maybe leave it there at an inn or stable or something. If we take it any further, I'm pretty sure it will freeze to death or die from a monstrosity of some sort.
Well, we won't need a mule while we're on the boat.
Right. That's why I'm wondering if it's even worth taking, because the part we'll need it for, it will very likely die.
So maybe we don't need it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Because when we're at that point, we should be traveling light enough that we carry all our own stuff anyway, because it's going to be pretty treacherous to carry big stuff.
Sure. So nix the curtain mule.
Also round 1.
Never round 1.
Okay.
Okay.
With
So
what
we kind of have an idea of what we're gonna. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, with what we've lined out, I feel that my character and me as a player are confident, and that's what he would be. Like, okay, we're good to go with this.
Okay. All right.
If Rumble has anything to add, now might be a good time if he's able to.
I think he's with the pup right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. So you guys know that you need to do some shopping. You have an idea of what it is that you're going to be getting together. And then you know that you have 6 days in town before you set sail. Is there anything else that you guys want to dig around for, try to find out, or do with the 6 days that you have other than shop?
This is not a particularly large port town, is it?
It's fairly decently sized, actually. It's the largest port city in the northernmost part of the civilized world.
So we have.
How do we feel about, like, a spyglass or something? Binoculars of some sort?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Because even though I'm a navigator, I don't really have one of those. They're pricey.
You want like a spyglass and maybe a compass, so that we don't get lost.
A compass would be
winter
part of my
storm?
navigation tools. That I'm not worried
Oh,
about.
okay.
The spyglass specifically would be too expensive for something I would have
Sure.
bought.
Sure.
Well, all I'm going to say is that anything that you guys are buying specifically, go ahead and denote it on your sheets and how much it costs and all that jazz. And then from there, we can, like the stuff that is more conceptual, like various foods and ingredients and things like that. That's more of a ambiguous thing. We can deal with that as we need to. It'll be more of a question of, hey, I want to do this, and I'm like, okay, well, you probably have that, so on and so forth.
Is there a list of what, like, winter gear would be in 5e?
Is there not a winter clothing option?
Oh, I'll take a look here. I don't
No,
see
there's
anything.
nothing
No.
specifically winter.
Okay. Okay. In that case, then just we'll assume that you purchase some, like just whatever your clothing options are. We can say that you buy heavy winter gear, and I'd say just like double the price of whatever you buy. That would be equivalent. Let's see, where would that? I wonder if that would be in items. Clothing. Common clothes, fine clothes. Yeah, I would say double the cost of fine clothing.
Fine. Okay.
So, well, actually, let's just say fine clothing can do it, and we'll just consider that to be winter. So that's 15 gold.
Okay.
Neato. It's just got all the things in it. All right. Anything else? No? So, ready to get on with it?
Well, I suppose in this time my character would try and swindle people. And I I guess for the sake of time, can I give you a couple of like deception checks?
Sure. Now, kind of
How
walk me
many?
through how it is that you're. Well, tell me kind of what it is that you're trying to do.
Going around the city to different places where people of money would look like they gather,
Mm-hmm.
and run a couple of bamboozles, like trying to sell off nonsense items as if they were rare and worth some amount of money,
Okay. Let's see.
or try and get someone so drunk and have them sign over property rights, or
Yeah. Okay. Then I think let's say your first roll, you manage to find yourself now the possessor of the deed of one of the finer houses now in Polara. So now you are the owner. You have swindled your way into at least documentary ownership of a nice house in Polara. On the second day, however,
Sidebar: is anybody gonna buy a 10-foot pole?
I was considering it. Not even gonna lie.
I'm not.
Did we want to bring fishing tackle? Since we're gonna be on a boat?
I don't know much about fishing, so I wouldn't, but it would make sense for somebody who might be a fisherman to do that.
well, while you guys mull over that, so Pascal has swindled himself into home ownership, but
Excuse
then
me,
on
it's
day.
Crawford Barrington now.
Oh, well, sorry, but Pascal made the roll. So Pascal has swindled himself into home ownership. And then, unfortunately, on day 2 was recognized. And so Pascal saw fit to leave the city. So now Master Barrington is going about doing his thing. So if you'd like, you can go ahead and roll again.
Hold on, we need to be Crawford Barrington now.
Okay. Unfortunately, it seems as though the people of Polara have caught on to your mannerisms, and you feel a slight amount of discomfort, even in attempting swindling. Just like you almost feel like you're recognized before you even introduce yourself. So you're able to pocket, a fair amount of gold. Let's say 150 gold from just like selling trash to people. And that's, you're going to call it a day there, just because something doesn't feel right.
Okay, but I still have that deed.
Yep.
Is there? I'm assuming there's some sort of like governing body around the city, right?
Yes.
Is there any way I could sell the property back to the city? Like land value?
You could list it, but it will not, like, you can present it to the city for purchase, but until the ruling noble basically has the hearing or the court date for it, then it won't be sold. It'll just be like on the market for the city.
Okay, I will hold on to it then.
Okay. On the fourth day, let there be light. No. The group is traveling together, discussing their purchases and what it is they plan to do. And on their way through the city, they take a you all take a shortcut through a back alley. Rogar guarantees you that he knows a faster way to get to the bow and ribbon. And unfortunately, as you're digging through the back alley, let's see, does this work?
Oh,
You guys see the map now?
yeah.
Okay.
Neat.
And you see your tokens on the map?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. And we'll just pretend. I used to have a city map, but it disappeared when it crashed. So we're using this for now. So
Sure.
yeah, these hallways will obviously be the alleyways, and then the actual rock is going to be the various buildings or whatever. I don't know how you guys want to arrange yourselves, but as you're accosted in the back alley, a well-dressed mercenary steps forward and addresses the group and says, "We know you're traveling with that child, and we want to know what's in the box. You're going to hand it over to us."
I'd like to cast Hold Person on him.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, the thing I would say back is the only thing that where you will hand over to you is your head if you do not leave immediately.
So you say that, and Crawford casts Hold Person, and then
Roll that as well.
where are? Do any of these have saves?
Oh, I can zoom in.
I think you can actually.
Neat.
I think you can actually just target him as well.
Oh,
Let's try. Targets veteran, which if you control click a token, it will set that as your target. It does roll it.
Yeah, and it actually automatically does his save for me, so I don't even have to roll his save.
neat.
Now, if I apply the effect to him, does it set him to paralyzed? It does.
I don't even have to tell you; it just works or doesn't. Fuck. All right. Cool. Can I? You know what? I bet it's in here. Would it be under notes? No. Library. Where are conditions? I wonder. That's what I want to know.
That's a whole different module,
Effects
right?
have their own button.
Well, no, like I have a library of like that describes what all the conditions are.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But incapacitated and can't move or speak. So he's threatened and told that if he doesn't leave, that they'll all die, and then he can no longer speak. So the other bandits that look around, they all kind of look around at each other, and step forward. He'll step forward, and I'd like you guys to go ahead and roll initiative as they all draw their weapons.
there a way to do it at
scimitars and
advantage in
daggers.
this?
Down below the chat box, there's advantage and disadvantage buttons. You can just toggle on and off.
Oh, look at that.
And it will only toggle for the next roll after you click it, so it doesn't remain on.
Oh, beautiful. Amazing.
Wait, where's that?
Down below the chat box in the lower left-hand corner.
Gotcha. I see it.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Oh, I gotta switch over to my battle music now. Let's see.
Okay. Looks like Rogar has the initiative.
It also looks like when I updated my health last night when I made this new character sheet, it did not update. So-
It probably did, but when the game crashed, it may not have saved.
Oh, okay. So the paralyzed veteran guy was the guy who spoke, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I say, my, what ruffians in my new old man persona?
Sure.
All the other bandits look like they're normal dudes. There isn't like a bigger one or anything.
That would have been the
That would have been the veteran.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna walk over to this guy here. And I'm just gonna do some basic attacks while I get used to this character sheet here.
Yeah. You literally just walk up to him.
I just walk up to him, yeah.
Okay.
And, oh, neat, it is here. Okay. The, like, pushing Alt and Control and stuff to change your bars at the bottom.
Yep.
Neat.
It's neat. Going to... You know what, I just want to see how this works. I'm going to give him a basic slash here.
So you want to control click him first,
So that it applies
and
it
that'll
to
set
him.
him as your target,
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see the
and
little
then
arrow.
it will actually roll against his AC.
Okay. So I'll do that again then.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to guess 29 would probably hit. So if you have a,
Well, yeah,
like,
it's fine, but I this is less for mechanics and more for learning, so I want him to do it again anyway.
Yeah. That
wow,
seems
roll.
suspicious.
Yeah.
Let's do it again because I have 2 attacks anyway. Okay. That's different. Good.
Okay.
So I'm just...
Those both hit.
Target Bandit 3. He disappeared on my screen.
Oh, did he? All right, hold on.
Yeah.
There. I don't know why that happened.
Weird. Okay,
I think it's
so
because I accidentally changed his faction, and that may have reset him.
with them both hitting, do I just click this damage button now?
I
believe
guess so.
If you're targeted, it should apply it to him.
So that's for the one, and then that's for the other.
Oh, hey! It automatically updates. Yes! This is the best system ever. I don't have to do anything.
Work is done for Wolf.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the best. I don't have to keep track of shit. All right, are you finished?
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna do.
Oh, that was you. Now, Stropey. Why did you just make a death save? That's weird. Too early to be crying for food. You gotta wait 15 minutes. Susanna?
Oh, sorry, it's my turn now, right?
Yeah.
Combat tracker. Combat tracker.
You-
I got it.
You are Steropi.
I am Steropi. Behold, your
Steropi.
death by the iron shoe. All right. I am going to move down here. And then I attack this boy. And I will hit him with my halberd attack.
You'll swing at him with your halberd attack.
Swing at him with my halberd
Remember to
attack.
target them.
Yeah, you didn't target him.
It's control click, right?
Target's bandit 4. I see that now.
Okay. Should I re-roll it?
Yes,
Okay.
that is a hit.
Okay, so damage for that is this one plus that. So a total of 12. And then because I attacked, I get an extra attack for my polearm mastery.
That hits.
So that's damage is this plus that. Oh, do I get to reroll damage? I do! I do get to. Alright, so that's 6 damage for that hit.
6 plus what? Because I want to
No,
make
it's
sure
just
that
6
it's
total.
actually. Well, what was your other one?
Oh, that was
12?
I think it was 12. Yeah.
The 12
7,
plus
5
6?
plus 6, so 18.
Okay, so it didn't do that correctly. I'll fix that. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, because of it doesn't account for the,
Reroll.
yeah.
That's fine.
Okay. And then I get an extra attack. I hit him again.
Yep.
So damage is this and this, which is 8. I
Another
should be writing this
1.
down. What?
It,
I get to
you
reroll
rolled
damage.
another 1 and a 2. I don't know if you get to
Oh, I do get to
reroll
reroll
brute
the
force
2.
damage.
I can reroll the 2, and I can reroll that. So I take the 1, and that makes it 12.
So 12 more.
I need a pencil. So 12 more. And then, do I get a polearm mastery strike for that? I do. So I'm attacking with the halberd.
Now you're gonna use your bonus action to butt end him.
Well, I get it as a bonus action for using the extra attack.
I don't
Don't I?
understand what you're saying. So you're using your bonus action, which is Polar Master, to use the butt end of your weapon to attack him, right?
Yes.
But you
Okay.
did that on the first attack, didn't you?
Yes, that's what I'm asking. Is like, do I get it
What?
for each action or
No,
just
no,
the
no, no,
first
no, no,
action?
no. Just the first one.
Just the first attack. Okay. Well, then I still have one more extra attack.
That is a hit.
Okay. So damage is gonna be that, and this. So roll that one.
Where does this brute force damage come from? 'Cause that seems like you're
It's
doing.
15.
Okay.
15 damage for that, and then as a war priest, I can attack one
Did
more
you did you hear my
time.
question?
Where's the brute force damage coming
Yeah.
from?
Yeah. What is that?
It's a D6,
No.
but I'm
Where does it? What is it
that's my-
from?
That's my martial style,
Okay.
my martial archetype. Is I'm a brute.
Okay.
So I added D6 to the damage whenever I land a melee weapon hit.
The brute. I see. Okay. And then Polar Master is just a feat.
Yes.
Okay. All right. There was, and then your War Priest thing. That's a bonus action, isn't it?
I gain 1 attack as a bonus action when I use
Yeah,
the
you-
attack action.
You've already used your bonus action.
That was from Polearm Mastery.
You only
Right,
have
but it's
one
still-
bonus action.
Yeah, it
Oh,
still
okay.
burns your bonus.
Okay, that's fine. We're learning. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So that should do it. That should do
Okay.
it for me.
Okay.
Shouldn't
so you
the Polar Master damage also have your strength modifier?
It's just a D4, I think. I don't think it gains the strength modifier to it for the damage.
Let's see. When you take the attack, make a bonus action, make a melee attack with the opposite of the weapon. The weapon's damage is D4, and it deals bludgeoning damage. The attack uses the same ability modifier as the primary attack, so no, it should have your strength.
Oh, okay. So I can fix that in the thing.
So how much extra damage is that
It should only be 5 more damage.
per each one? So so just 5 more. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that bandit is critically wounded and bleeding as you cut him to ribbons, but is still standing. So that was 3 attacks and then your Polearm Master bonus attack?
Yes.
Okay. Are you finished?
Yes.
Okay. Supposed to highlight him for me? Where is he? Excuse me? Oh, there. 1, 2, 3, 5. He's gonna move here. He is going to wing. Oh. Oh, you know what? I should. That's a hit. Your status is dying because your HP isn't correct.
My HP is 129.
It's
Do you have a field in your WND? Do you have a number in there?
Yeah, I do. I have
That should be
129.
0.
Oh.
That is your wound.
Oh.
It
is that what
counts
that
up.
is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
set it to
so-
6.
Okay. I gotcha. Weird.
Okay. All right, and then I need to read this. Okay, so then another. Why was that at advantage? That's silly. It doesn't matter. It missed, and did the other one miss? Yeah. So they both of those. So one scimitar hit, one scimitar miss, and a dagger miss. Okay. And bandit 2.
Oh, you might need to clear the unconscious effect from her as well.
Oh, how do I do that?
Possibly in right click.
No, it wasn't in right click. Can I? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'm not sure where it is.
Can you do
Main skill.
anything in the
I'm looking.
there's the effects expansion, which is the head with the stars above it.
Don't know what you're talking about.
To like the right where all those buttons are.
Oh,
There's
hold on.
one that's a character head with
see.
stars.
Yep. I see. In the combat tracker is what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, it's cleared. She's no longer unconscious. Okay, so bandit 2.
That's why it was at advantage.
Yeah. Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3. So he's no longer around the corner. And he's going to attack Stropey. 1 scimitar miss. 2 scimitar miss. Dagger. Miss. Okay. He missed all of his. Bandit 3. He's currently engaged with Rogar. What is that, Turneroth? Yes, Turneroth. Is that how that's pronounced?
Oh, I was muted. Yep.
Okay. Targeting you. That's really neat. That's a hit. Another hit. And another hit. Oof. So,
Oh, good rolls.
Looks like it should have already added all of your damage.
They did. Yep.
Wait, why is your HP so low?
Remember? It didn't save or something? I have to reset it. I'm gonna have to re-roll it because I don't remember what I set it at last night.
Alright, give me 1 second.
I can just do that and roll 20, I guess.
I'll fix it. Why is my calculator so large? Stop that. What's that? D6s and D10s? What did you start with, a 10 or a 6?
Start with the 10.
You started with the 10s? Okay. And then so then there's oops. Then
In the chat box in this, would I be able to type like /roll to just get a roll out?
I don't know.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Then your common. It'd be 110. There. I set it to 110.
Cool.
I just
Thank
gave you average.
Okay.
Alright, so he's done his turn, so he's gonna swing his scimitar at you. He's swinging it like, for whatever reason, this bandit has seen many days of combat and lived to tell the tale, so he expertly just like slips that curved blade everywhere that you're. Do you have a shield?
I do, yep.
Okay, so everywhere that your shield isn't, it seems that his blade is. He gets a few good cuts in.
Beginner's luck. It's okay.
Bandit number 4, who has been pummeled by Steropi, looks around a bit nervously, but sees that his comrades are closing in on her, and will add his own attacks to the fray. Oh, should actually probably target her. Damn, that was a hit too. That's a miss.
If you still hit damage, it'll count the damage.
Yeah. So one scimitar slash finds its way past her half plate, and then he thrusts with his dagger and does the same. There for 11 total damage. And then he doesn't have anything left, so he's going to take a defensive stance. And Ding, you have the initiative. Man, combat in this is so much smoother already than Roll20.
It's real dope.
Yeah.
All right. So the thing I'm going to do is where is it? Boop. Cast Invoke Duplicity.
I don't know what that is.
So I should get to create 4 illusions of myself
Okay.
within 30 feet of me.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I don't know. We're going to find out if I can do what I want to do here. I don't know. Where are my letters? Tool set, turtles, volos, anathars, monster, letter tokens. There we go.
Oh, I see.
Can I copy that? Nope, I can't. So I just need to drag multiples out. So 4 copies.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, is there a way that I can give you control of those?
I can move them.
Oh, okay. There you go. Good. So those are you. Those are the 4 dings.
Yep. So
Ding dong dang dung and dang.
boop. Just put them around.
Okay. Make sure they're within a.
They have to be within 30, so
Okay.
I don't think.
I was just saying, like, this one was like between 2, so.
Oh yeah. My bad. But I think that's my action for the turn. So
It is casting a spell, so
Yeah.
unless it's a bonus action spell. Can you pop the spell up for me, please?
yeah. I don't know why I suddenly have 2 of them in my thing.
I don't know why I can't click on any of these. I know I'm supposed to be able to.
This is channeling divinity. Okay.
Yeah.
You,
So that's why-
okay, I found it. So if you click the little dragon head, it should open it.
Yeah, no, it says unable to create window with data source, blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
it's
may not.
weird about it.
Yeah. Use your channel to clear. Yeah, create an illusory duplicate. At 17th level, create up to 4 duplicates of yourself instead of 1. When you use invoke duplicity as a bonus action, Oh no, 1 action to create it. Okay, so as a bonus action in turn, you can move any number of them up to 30 feet, maximum range of 120. Blah, 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 until you lose your concentration. So you are now concentrating, which hopefully that's. Oh yeah, it has the little C in there. Sweet. So we don't have to remember that. Occupate space. Move the illusion. Cast spells as though you were in the illusion space, but you must use your own senses when both you and your illusion. That's actually really cool. Give advantage. When both you and your illusion are within 5 feet of a creature that can see the illusion, you have advantage on your attack rolls against it, given how distracting the illusion. Okay, cool. So it doesn't really do anything to them. What happens if I attack the illusions? It doesn't say.
It should just pass through them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
So
it does.
they don't have hit points or anything like that.
No.
Right. But
Okay.
it's meant to like burn attacks as a distraction.
Sure. All right. So now you have a bonus action. Still, if you want to use your action economy there, or you can pass turn.
I think
and
I'll
movement
pass
as
the
well.
turn because if I have a bonus action thing I can do, I don't actually know what it is. So
You should have spirit weapon.
no.
It's like the cleric bonus action spell. Then while you wait for your next turn, I recommend going to Donjon and just like go to the spell sheet and then set cleric and casting time to bonus action.
You can do that in the spells window. You can't do time though, huh?
Yeah. No. So I sent you a link to Donjon's spell sheet and then just set it to
Gotcha.
cleric and set casting time to 1 bonus action, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total cleric spells that you can do that with.
All right.
And as everybody now sees, Ding seems to be a cleric of sorts, based off his channeling divinity. Okay, so Ding will pass his turn, and then that moves on to Bandito number 5, which is this one. 1, 2, 3. He's going to swing his scimitar at. Oh, I can't target the. All right, so it's going to target Ding, but. All right, so a neat, even cut that should have bitten deep into the flesh of Ding passes through the illusion. That was 1, 2, 3, so 4, 5. Frustrated, gonna pass through, or I guess he'd probably do that, then that, and he's actually gonna target. How do I untarget somebody?
Yeah, I just didn't prepare any of these spells.
That's fine. Now you know.
Yeah.
All right.
should've
Yeah,
thought
clear to
about
target.
Mostly I was thinking about the moving the illusions with the bonus action.
He's gonna swing his scimitar at Crawford, and
But
that
let's
hits.
see if it does concentration with advantage. Because I don't think it will.
It looks like it did. Yeah, it
Oh, it
definitely
did.
did.
It recognizes I have Warcaster.
Yeah. And he's gonna swing his dagger. Also hit. Damage is dealt there. Pass on to Bandit 6, and he's going to call out, mind the illusions, swing your dagger first, boys. swing his dagger. He fumbles the dagger, nearly dropping it, and thus is unsure whether or not it is an illusory double, as the illusion is able to neatly just kind of watch him miss. So he swings his scimitar. Actually, should probably have checked what your AC was before I did all that. Let's see. Okay, so that one... well, that one would have clanged off the armor, but instead passes through. So instead, he's going to step here and swing at the real ding with his final remaining scimitar. And that for real clangs off the armor of Ding. What armor are you wearing?
I have a breastplate.
Okay, yeah. So that is definitely a clang. He's finished, and then Bandito number 7. Actually, he's just gonna step into Steropi. Miss, and a hit. 5 damage as he plunges his dagger into one of the gaps in Steropi's half plate. The blood wells out. Bandit number 8. Gonna swing at the Ding illusion with his dagger. An easy miss is sidestepped, so he's unsure whether or not it's an illusion and swings his scimitar. This one passes through what may have been a decapitating blow, and in frustration, if he'd just been smart, he would have seen that his companion attacked the real Ding, but he's a simple bandit, so not the brightest bulb in the box. So here he steps up to swing at the real Ding. Oh, didn't target you, but it does hit. Looks like you successfully concentrated, but takes 7 damage. And then, last but not least, the bandit that you didn't see. 1, 2, 3. All right, so he steps up, surveys what's going on, wonders why they're attacking an old man, but is like, fuck it, whatever. I don't remember seeing him. I'll go get this guy. So I target Rogar. Gonna swing his scimitar. Actually, he remembers hearing something about using your dagger first, so he's gonna swing his dagger first. But that just like he thrusts and you turn slightly, and it just your armor meets the thrust of the dagger and yanks it to the side. But as that's happening, the scimitar is coming in as well. That just hits your shoulder pad harmlessly. And as he flips it around to try to swing again, you're able to bat it out of the air without any effort. Crawford Barrington, the initiative is yours.
You can control click again on the same target to remove that target.
I also just opened the targeting menu and cleared it.
Okay, let's take a swing.
You gotta draw your weapon.
All right, yeah, that's true.
Unless you want to swing your fist.
That's fair. With his rapier still in his holster, he
Sheath.
Would a rapier have a sheath?
Sheath.
Yes, it's in a frog usually. A frog is a type of sheath that keeps the weapon cocked at an angle that is easy for drawing.
Oh, sorry, my smoke detector started going off from my vaping. With no weapon in hand, he starts shut up, phone. He starts pulling back for a thrust, and with his bonus action, we'll call his packed rapier. And it manifests in his hand, and he will take a stab at.
You can roll that with advantage because he's not going to see that coming. There's a hit. Do you guys see if it's a hit or not? Or is that hidden?
I think that's
We
hidden.
see.
I know if I get hit, it automatically puts the
Yeah.
wound in, but
Yeah. I just didn't know because it has a little crossed out eye. So like I was hoping that it wouldn't just tell you guys whether or not. Because then it's like, why am I even here for combat?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it doesn't tell
that
us.
was a hit. Okay. Damage is dealt. Also, Susanna, if you have your damage in your weapon, I don't think you have to manually roll it all. I think you can get it. Like your halberd right here, it says 1d10 plus 5 slashing. You could change that and make it 1d10. I think you can make it like 1d10 plus 1d6 plus 5.
Oh, I see. I tried to figure out how to do that, but I couldn't last night. So.
Oops, I rolled that accidentally.
Okay. With that,
Oh, okay,
first
I got
hit,
it. How do I make it a 1d6? How do I do this? All right, so if you go into your damage type, you'll see the little edit button,
Yeah.
the edit list. So if you edit list, you can add another die.
Well, I know that, but how do you change the die? Because it just pops up with the die being blank.
you drag one of your dice into it.
Yeah.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah. So basically, everything in Fantasy Grounds is drag and drop. If you don't know how to do something, you probably just drag and drop it.
Nice. Okay.
Okay. So anyway, I need to undo the 9 damage to Bandit 4. Bandit 4. Do that. Okay. All right. So you did your thrust. You hit. Go ahead. Sorry for the interruption.
Oh, no worries. And after hitting him, 5, 10, 15, 20, move 20 here. Do not
He's
take
gonna-
an attack of opportunity because I have the feat mobile, and I took an
Okay.
attack on him.
Okay.
And I will target the...
Will you pop mobile up so that I can see it?
Sure. Excuse me, character sheet. It was like slightly behind the battle map.
Speed increases by 10 feet when you dash, blah. When you make a melee attack against a creature, you don't provoke from that creature for the rest of the turn, whether you don't. Okay.
So since he is paralyzed, that should be advantage as well, right?
Should be. I think it'll automatically roll it for you.
That'll be nice. And so I will attack the paralyzed man.
Yeah, looks like it automatically rolled it for you. That is a hit. Wow. So tell us a little bit about your packed rapier and how that works.
So you see as this old man pulls back and a secondary rapier just manifests in his hand and he thrusts forward with it before sprinting away to another target and then thusly stabbing him as well. You notice it's a blade with a slight purple sheen to it.
Not a Charlie Sheen, a purple sheen.
My favorite of that family.
Mm-hmm.
And that was only 20 movement there. So then 5, 10, 15, 20. I will go all the way back here. And end my turn.
How are you getting... Oh, I guess you can just go past him because he can't resist you. So yeah, that's fine.
And mobile, because I swung at him.
Well, yeah, but mobile doesn't mean you can pass through enemies.
True,
But
because
since
it's walls there.
Yeah, since he's paralyzed, it's fine. All right. There's him. Conditions. Paralyzed. How do I...
Oh,
I was hoping that would automatically be a roll here. Because he does get to save against it again, right?
Let's
Hold person,
see
or is it...
what hold person says. I think it's so long as I have concentration, up to a minute.
It might be. I thought I could save every turn, but maybe not.
Oh, at the end of each of its turns, can make another wisdom saving throw.
Okay, so let's see if this does it automatically. No, it didn't. So he needs to make.
DC 19.
Let me find. I gotta pull up his stuff. Why are saves not in here?
Which I didn't realize, but oh well now, because it would have been cast at 5th level. I could have targeted, like, 4 people.
Yeah. You should have.
I didn't
Right.
realize a lot of stuff I could have done last round too. It's okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
me
that's
too.
that's why this first combat is against bandits, guys. It's almost like I knew what I was doing. I'm just trying to figure out how to roll saves. Oop, that was. Yeah, why is saving throw not an option? Let's see. I'm gonna Google that real quick. Fantasy grounds roll saves. See monster saving throws. Hmm. I feel like there should be a saving throw. Oh, maybe in here. Skills, senses, languages, attacks. Oh, there we go. Okay. Save wisdom. Nope. I rolled a 1. But I do know how to do it now, so that's good. All right, so it looks like we have rolled around to Rogar, who has the initiative.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I don't know how to add this on, so we'll talk through this in a second here.
Sure.
Basically, I'm going to be doing the same thing, so I'll be rolling 2 attacks, but then I'm going to be adding on to that as well. So let's start off with.
If you're doing what I think you're doing, I think that's something you have to do. I think that's declared as part of the attack.
It is not. It's you can
Okay.
do it after you hit,
Oh, okay. Neat.
which is what makes it so powerful.
Yeah,
Okay, so I'm gonna attack this dude, or try to.
that hits. Which one are you hitting? 3 or 9?
3.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh
so-
yeah, I see that. I see that.
And you know what? I'll just do it twice because I'm attacking twice with the extra
Yeah.
attack as well.
Okay.
Okay, so on both of these,
both
I'm going
hit.
to use Divine Smite.
Your second one wasn't targeted, or did you accidentally turn off your target?
It doesn't show us, like, when we roll, it doesn't show the target's name there.
I see.
But when
I
you
see.
deal the damage, I don't think it does. I think it
Well-
might because
well-
they're invisible in the combat tracker.
He turned off his
Right.
targeting computer.
He did turn off his targeting computer.
Oh, crap.
Oh, now I see everything. I'm gonna look away.
No, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
Try rolling
you-
one more attack just to see if it does show when they're visible.
Okay.
No.
You're not targeting him anymore.
No, on mine says targets bandit 3.
Oh, it doesn't for me. Maybe it's because it's a repeated attack.
Okay.
But no, because now
Yeah.
it's not telling me that it's hitting or anything, and it was before.
Okay, so you have to do everything through first. You can't just say you're attacking twice and then do 2 damage. Okay. That's where the problem is coming in, I guess.
Well, I don't know, because I was able to do that on my end.
Right. That's why I thought I would be able to as well, but maybe I can't.
Yeah. I don't know. Roll damage, and we'll see.
Okay, so we'll just count the 16 right now. So that was a hit, you said.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is the damage for the weapon.
Yeah.
And now, because Divine Smite is Channel Divinity, which doesn't have its own spell necessarily, do I just roll the dice extra for the damage?
You should have Divine Smite on your sheet somewhere. Like, you should have put it on your sheet.
Well, it's
if you
Channel
put it
Divinity.
It should still have a dragon head next to it, and you can drag it into the actions tab, and it might add the damage button there.
Gotcha. Okay, so let me try adding it as an action then, Divine Smite.
I'm
Yep.
about to piss myself, so I'm gonna run and go pee. While you
Okay.
get that working.
It's okay. The game takes care of itself. So
See, that does that. Oh my god, stop clicking it. I was trying to click the dragon head, but it was off by a little bit. Smite, smite, smite.
Divine Smite is a paladin thing.
It is.
Okay.
But the thing is that it's a weird one because it isn't just, it's this. It's you choose how many spell slots you want to expend to make the damage go up. So it's like versatile, and I can just say what I want to do with it. Which is probably why it's not coded.
It looks like... let's see if it's in one of the modules.
Which means I could probably just pick up a dice, or the dice that I'm using, and add it, right? In theory.
Yeah, I might not have the module loaded for it.
I don't know. It seems like there's going to be a lot of these like one-offs that are just weird because of the way they're written.
Paladin Divine Smite. Okay, there we go. If you go to your data module activation, you're looking for 5e coding effects, class features.
You're right, that wasn't loaded. Okay.
And then within spells, if you just type in the search bar Smite, you'll have Paladin Divine Smite in there, and you can drag that into actions.
Okay. Coding.
I hope you titled your stream, "Let's Learn How to Use Fantasy Grounds."
Right?
Once this combat is over, also, we'll be taking our break.
Spells. Okay, I see. So if I go down to Paladin, holy shit, there's a lot of
I would
stuff
use a
there.
search thing because it.
Yeah.
Just type in Smite and it'll.
Actually, that makes sense too. Smite. Divine Smite. There it is.
Yeah, so drag that in, and it will actually have an effect
As a
this
cantrip.
time.
Perfect. Yep, that's exactly what I needed.
In the field to the right, that should be blank. If you type in like feature, it'll make a subcategory for
Oh, I see.
all those things that you can drag in.
Gotcha.
Also, I'm not sure if it works this way, but since Smite can be cast at varying levels, can you drag it into different levels and it will automatically cast at the appropriate level?
Upper level casting is a bit weird.
We're about to try
and
it
this
out
one
here.
I'm not.
Oh, okay. Well. Effects, device.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it popped up as a damage type.
No.
Why is it doing it as an effect?
No. That's what we're here for, then.
We are learning.
Heck yeah.
Because, like, I can just
Bunch
roll
of
the
learns.
dice, but it won't automatically apply in theory,
Well-
right?
Right, and you won't check it off your spells and all that stuff. So, like, if we can make it automatic, we should, because everything
Totally.
else is.
Totally. Yeah.
Hit the magnifying glass next to it.
Okay.
And in the spell ability and effect, change the targeting to targets. And then try clicking it.
Yep.
Oh, yep.
Did it do the damage?
It doesn't look like it.
Oh, okay. I see what it's doing. So it applies the effect to you. Okay, change that back to self,
Okay. Yeah.
and now roll your weapon damage.
Oh, expend on next roll. I see.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
Okay.
hold on. Let me undo the damage you did before, so that I'm not having to do weird math. So it was Bandit 3. And you did 5.
Yeah.
Oh man. I like the one thing that I already missed from roll 20, and probably the only thing I'll miss was the easy addition and subtraction for like HP
Yeah.
and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so I understand. So I roll an attack, and then you're like, it hits. Okay, so I'm going to use Divine Smite. I have to click that, then I roll the damage.
Yeah, and I have to
Yeah.
remove his divine smite, or he's gonna smite somebody next turn.
Okay.
Okay.
So in theory, when I roll this damage, it should, like...
Yeah, it did.
And it automatically does it at first level. So I would have to change it if I wanted it higher. But I wanted it at first, so...
Okay. Well, now you know, and it'd be neat if you could make it so that you had a different one for each level, and then you could just click the appropriate one.
I think I probably could.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just create a new one and then just title it like second level and then just change the copy paste the effect text
Yeah.
and then
Gotcha.
change the dice in there.
Okay. So you have smote him once, and now your second attack is coming through. As your blade glows with radiant fire.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that we have to do the other attack still. Oh my god.
First combat's gonna go real slow, but that's okay.
That-
You had already rolled it; it was fine. But
I'm okay
But
with
why
that.
does it show the attack now on Bandit 3?
Yeah,
I think
that's
because you
weird.
rolled a 1. I
Yeah,
don't know.
maybe. It's an automatic miss, so
Yeah.
it's allowed to tell us, I
Okay.
guess.
Okay.
So
that's
that was-
fine. Well, we'll see. We'll see with the next one anyway. All right. So is that your turn?
No, then I'm going to use 2 spell points to quicken a spell as a bonus
Okay.
action. I am going to... Oh god, I can't find it now. I just had it. This right here. That should have actually been against both of them. I accidentally forgot to target 9 as well because it's a area.
Ignore that.
Okay. Oh, he succeeded his save. And then the other one. Who was it? Bandit 9.
Yeah, I
Get
forgot to
him.
control click him.
No, that's fine. And it was a dex save.
Yes.
He also succeeded.
Okay. Yep, sounds good.
Are we ignoring that one too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Okay. Steropi, you're up.
Okay. So I'm going to continue to attack bandit number 4. I don't even have to tell you which one of these. It's targeted.
Yeah.
It's targeted.
Yeah, that's I think a hit, even if he's parrying. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, he's dying.
Is he dying or is he dead?
I mean, technically, nothing is ever dead. It's always dying. But let's say you split him open from collarbone to his belly button.
Okay. So, I imagine that as he collapses, I can target another bandit.
You absolutely can.
We'll target it. Oh, wait, I gotta remove. I gotta remove. Cool.
Ignore
It
that.
prompts me to delete him when you do that.
So I have 2 extra attacks. Like that.
Yeah. That is a miss. Oh, it tells you. I don't even have to tell you anymore.
Nice. I can re-roll that too.
If you're now that you do have to tell me. All right, so
Okay,
bandit
I
2.
re-rolled the 2, so it turns from a 15 to a 16.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna use my action surge to gain another action, which I can use to attack.
Well, don't forget you had your bonus action as well.
I know, I haven't forgotten it.
Okay. Oh, because I think does action surge give you? Oh, well, shit. Okay.
That is heavy.
Yeah. I don't even know what that means, but he's
No.
heavy now.
Now I have a point of clarification before I keep pressing buttons.
Uh-huh.
Action surge says it gives me another action.
Yeah, so you
Now,
can
I
use that to
can use
make
it
all of
to
your
take-
attacks, I believe.
So it should be all 3 attacks, right? The regular and then the 2 extra attacks that
Let's
I
see.
gain when I use the attack action.
Player give blah 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 extra time.
Because I thought it was all 3
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, fighters get their extra attacks when using action surge. So yes, it is
Okay.
all 3 again.
Okay, so that was
But
1.
you don't get another bonus action. So.
Right. Well, I haven't used my bonus action.
Right.
Yet, so.
I know.
But yes, okay. Just the 1 bonus action.
Yeah. I want to know what status heavy is.
Me too.
It just means he's heavily wounded.
Oh.
Because now that
okay.
we see him in the combat tracker, we can see what
I see.
their health is.
Okay. Change that last damage from 16 to 22.
Okay, hold on.
Or excuse me,
So plus 6.
21.
No, look. Oh, yeah. Okay, so plus 5. So that'd be there. Okay.
1, 2, so it should be 1 more.
Yet another one. So you take his arm off, and it just you swing down, like you swing the halberd down, and his arm just comes off clean at the shoulder, and like a solid 2 inches is just like shaved off of him. And so like this 2-inch gap of flesh and bone is now hanging from him.
And okay, so I'm gonna stop targeting him. I'm gonna target this guy. And as my bonus action, since I used the attack action, I can use my War Priest to
Yes.
just make a full attack. Which I'm going to do.
Now, I think don't you Homer, you know this from your fighter. Doesn't one of her things, is it great weapon fighting that triggers on kill or crit? Or great weapon master?
I don't
I think
have that
so.
down for.
Okay, so
master.
then she doesn't have that. Okay. Well, yeah, because you have brute. You're a brute
Yeah,
fighter,
I
not a
have brute.
not a. Yeah,
Mhm.
I was trying to figure out where that came from because I knew that Egg could do things on crit or kill.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
No,
great
I can't.
weapons.
I can't do that. I just have brute.
Okay. Yeah.
But
so then
for-
go ahead and do your war priest.
For my War Priest attack, I'm going to use an unarmed strike against this guy with my hooves.
Okay.
Because it's fun. Ooh, and I get to reroll that too. Oh, well, it's the same. Still 5.
Okay.
So 10 damage.
Okay.
And now he has
That-
to make a strength DC check of 10 to see if he gets pushed back 5 feet.
Bandit 7. Okay. Strength. He
Hoof to the
passes.
face.
So he takes your hoof to the face, and despite the fact that his face is a bloody mess now, he stands his ground and spits out a couple of his teeth.
Yeah.
All right.
That should end my turn.
Okay. All right. So, seeing that they may be a bit outclassed and that their leader is certainly down for the count, they look around a bit unsure. Yes, I hear you honking. Go away. I'll feed you soon. Freaking geese. What'd he do here? He just watched this horse cut two of his friends in half. Their leader hasn't moved. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now there are 8 of them. Now there are 8 of them. Things are getting out of hand. He's probably just gonna throw down his scimitar and run. 1, 2, 5, 6, and then he's gonna use the dash action. 1, 2.
Wasn't there an attack of opportunity there?
If somebody had spoken up and said so.
I don't think I have opportunity attacks as they're leaving my reach, only when they enter it.
I think technically everybody has opportunity attacks when a creature leaves your
Yeah,
thing.
that's the default
Oh.
mechanic.
Yeah.
Well, should I roll it?
I don't know.
I guess I should. This guy.
Well, I need to put him back here, so
Okay.
Yeah, he would have had to take the disengage action.
yeah, and he did
Okay.
not.
Prevent that attack. Which is what Sentinel covers. Is even if they do that, they're still fucked.
Well, I get to re-roll that one. Damn, it's the same. Still 10.
Okay. 6. Okay. He's fleeing in terror. Despite having been chopped. Bandit 3. Feels that he is maybe backed into a corner, and so he had good luck when he was attacking before, so he's going to keep attacking. He's not quite so cowardly. Dagger miss. Oh, you guys can actually see these now, can't you?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We were able to see him before too.
Oh, I didn't know.
We weren't able to see our attacks hitting or missing on him before.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Okay. Well, he missed everything. And so, having his confidence shaken, he's going to bail as well.
All right, so I'll roll opportunity attack then.
Okay.
Scroll back up here and 24.
It should. That hurts. He's heavily wounded. 1, 2. Sees that Crawford is there and just about shits himself. And kind of puts his hands up and backs himself into the corner. Ding, you're up.
Well, they are starting to run, but this is more hilarious.
Oh, I like how it shows how far they are when you control click them. That's
So I'll do this. I'll mirror image.
Okay, how many?
He finds himself cornered and spawns out 3 more clones of himself, but these ones occupy the same space as him.
Now it really is
Oh,
getting
okay.
out of hand.
Yeah.
So now there are 11, of which 8 of them are ding. Okay.
And I can move my
Yes.
little illusion dudes. So
Yes, you can. Is that going to be your turn?
yeah.
All right, so I'll let you go ahead and move them, and then it's going to be on to. Actually, since it's the bandits, I guess you do need to.
here, I think. This guy's gonna move here. This guy's also gonna move here. This guy's gonna run here.
Okay.
No, alright, he's gonna run this side.
All right. So the bandit's going to make an attack of opportunity. It's 7. It says he's targeting Steropi, but he's not. That's a miss. All right. So bandit 5. He's going to move up to what he hopes is the real ding. He's going to swing first. That target at this target. He's going to swing with his dagger. He misses, but that looks like that's an armor cling. So he's going to swing again. Misses with the scimitar, and misses with the scimitar. So unfortunately, he can't find purchase in the bird flesh. And at 6 will do very much the same thing. He's going to swing with his dagger. Scimitar. Oh, that's a hit. And a hit. It looks like you succeeded on your concentration checks. Feeling that they... Oh, shit, you know what?
No, you
It's
have
not
to
doing your
roll
mirror
the-
image.
Yeah, no. I have to roll d20s whenever they attack me.
Uh-huh.
And I just have to roll a 6 or higher to make it attack a duplicate.
Okay, you got a 20.
Or no, or... Yeah. 20?
I thought you wanted to roll low with mirror image.
No,
it's-
it's...
Now, why... Does affect mirror image...
I don't know if the actual effect exists
Hmm.
because
okay.
there's more mechanical aspect to it.
Yeah.
I think it's just in there as text, like, "Hey, mirror image is applied on him."
That I feel like it should. Oh, I mean, it's actually here. 5e effects coding spells. There is mirror image, so I think you can do it. Targets you with an attack during the spell
think I
duration.
did.
Roll the-
Full mirror image there, but...
It's the one that says mirror image with an S after it.
10 plus your dex mod. Okay, so that dagger attack. What is your dex mod?
My dex mod is 4.
Okay, so that the first mirror image was destroyed by the dagger attack. Then because you rolled a 20. All right, so then the second one you need to roll an 8, which you rolled a 6. So that scimitar attack would have hit. So you need to roll one more d20.
Okay.
No, so both of the scimitar attacks did hit you. So the damage dealt was true.
Okay.
But you do still have 2 duplicates.
Alright.
So he did pull the spell effect coding 1. I looked at it. All it does is put mirror image
Yeah.
under your name in the combat tracker.
I see. Okay. Well, now we know. And we'll find out in a second. Or we'll have to do that again in a second. Okay, Bandit 7 has absolutely no confidence fighting Horse Lady. But believes that he can get away. So he's going to just run, because you don't have another reaction. And he's going to join his companions in trying to bring down the bird. Because, goddammit, they're going to get something out of today. Swings with his dagger. So you need to make a roll a d20. Okay, so he did target the thing, but it didn't hit it, so it's still up. All right, now he's going to swing at the scimitar, so roll another d20. Oh, it doesn't matter, but... All right, so he targeted... I think he targeted the thing, because you need to roll an 8
Yeah.
So he targeted the thing, but he missed. And then one more scimitar attack. One more d20. You're gonna get an 8 or better. No, that's gonna hit you. All right.
What is with all these 20s?
I don't know. All right, and then bandit number 8. He's gonna do the same thing because they can smell blood. They're gonna kill this bird, and they're gonna take his stuff, and then they're gonna run. You can hear like they're talking about. They're like, just kill the bird, drag him out, just kill the bird. Targeting Ding. Thrusts his dagger. D20 for mirror image. All right, so that's a destroyed mirror image. So you're down to 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's an automatic miss.
Nope.
And an automatic miss.
Okay, so ignore that roll then.
So like at this time, as like he's swinging the scimitar, and like you just kind of slip your foot out and catch him, and it sends him stumbling off balance, and he wildly swings it around a second time, and you just kind of casually duck underneath.
I also start echoing them. Destroy the bird. Your voice.
Yeah. So that unsettles them a bit as you start speaking back to them perfectly, exactly as they sounded. And then finally,
And I have-
number 9 here.
Like
Go
all
ahead.
the birds start saying it, not just the ones in front of them.
Oh God. Okay.
Oh my god.
All right. Having watched his companion run, this one he wants to do the same, but he sees all the birds, and he's like, shit, I don't think I can get past them. And so he feels kind of backed into a corner. So he's gonna swing it at Rogar, and just hope that he can do something. Dagger hits. Scimitar misses. Scimitar hits. And so he does manage to draw blood from the Dragonborn, and that seems to bolster his confidence. And so instead of turning to run like he had planned, he stays firmly planted where he was. And then Crawford, the initiative is yours.
All right, I am going to walk forward, and as I do, pull out my other rapier. And as I'm passing the man cowering in the corner, I'm going to say, "Don't fucking move," and see if he's intimidated by that. But I am going to go ahead and keep stabbing at the leader.
3. Let's see. Let me make a. He doesn't look shaken. Okay. Stabbing the bejesus out of the veteran. Oh my goodness.
And then an offhand.
Well, down goes the veteran. Just needle pincushion. Needle meat pincushion. And there are several little jets of blood that just like, from each hole that gets poked in him, just like, squirting out. All right.
And
are you
then
finished?
I will, excuse me, D token. Thank you. And I will keep moving.
Okay.
I'll take his opportunity attack if he's seeing so fit to do so.
The one in the corner?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. He had put his hands up already. All right. That goes to Rogar then.
All right. I'm going to... Seeing that the leader has fallen, a new plan strikes Rogar. don't know how else to, oh wait, that's the wrong thing. Anyway, I'm gonna Misty Step, which allows me as a bonus action to teleport up to 30
Okay.
away. So, is there a ruler here if I click? No, there isn't. Maybe in another menu, but 5, 6. I'm gonna just Misty Step here.
Okay.
I'm gonna untarget the banditry.
There is a measuring tool. Where is it?
Yeah, I couldn't remember where it was. Maybe in the right-click menu somewhere.
Yeah, it's one of
Pointers.
the right clicks.
Those are drawing.
You can do draw arrow, and it'll give you a number.
Can you? Oh. Pointers.
Oh yeah.
Draw arrow. Neat. Then is there a fast way to delete that?
Go to that
If you
same
right click
menu.
on it, pointers, and then remove pointers.
Pointers. Remove this. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Anyways, I Misty Step as my bonus action. I'm going to move here. Yellow to the group. Leave none of them alive. They all die. And I will cast this. Oh, I should target that dude. I'm going to try to bring him over to me with a lightning lure.
7. Okay. He succeeded.
God damn it, of course he did. Why not? And there's nothing on this success when you do it, right? Oh, right, because it's a
I don't
cantrip, so no, there isn't. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm basically... You see me, like, block off one of the exits, basically.
Okay. Then. Are you finished?
That's it. Yep.
Stropey.
Okay, I'm probably gonna go. Let's see. I'm gonna go help the bird. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
My plan all along. I'm gonna chase after this guy who left, who ran away from me, and be like, "Come back, friend!" I'm gonna hit him with a stick.
You're going to try to hit him with a stick, but he
Actually,
ducks.
I'm going to use my channel divinity to add 10 to that, making it a 23.
Oh, okay.
Is that a hit?
Yes.
Alright. Damage? Again?
Make sure you're keeping track of your uses of channel divinity.
Yes. And then once more.
Ooh.
It's a miss.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm gonna use my War Priest. Actually, you know what? I have a polearm mastery. Use again. Never mind. The end.
Okay. Why did you make 4 attacks? Because you had
Had
what, so the
3
first
for my
halberd
basic
attack.
action. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus
Did
2
you
extra
action
attacks.
surge?
No.
3 attacks and then the polar mastery
And then the
bonus
polearm
action.
mastery. That's 4.
I see the 2 plus 11, which is the first attack. Oh, that's damage. I see. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I was looking at the thing wrong.
Okay.
Okie dokie. All right, are you finished?
That'll do.
All right, bandit 1. Where is he? Oh, he's there. He's gonna bail. Go ahead and delete him because he made it.
He made it.
Yeah.
like that you're cheering for him. Bandit 3. 1, 2, 6, and then dash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, come on. Oh, I can't put him in the top square. Weird. I guess because the top of the map. All right, that's fine. He's in the top. You know what? Fuck it. He's gone. He made it. He stumbled across the finish line. That means Ding has the initiative.
All right. Ding is going to speak a word and then let loose. Word of Radiance.
I think is that ranged?
No, it's 5 feet.
Ah. How does that work? Because it doesn't. I had to pull up.
I think you could just control click all of them and then cast it.
Yeah.
Because then it'll roll their con as well, I believe, right? For them.
Oh, do I have to target them?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, because then it'll automatically do the saves.
Oh. Boop, boop, boop.
I see a failure and 3 successes.
Uh-huh. So I'll roll damage.
Man, their save
Or I
rolls have
guess
been
I should
good.
Only,
46 plus 4. Okay.
should only
Oh, cool. And it only hits the one that was a hit.
What
Sweet.
did? Good.
It only did damage to the one that hit. That's
Nice.
really nice. Okay. Anything else?
I guess I'll bring back my dudes.
Okay.
Bring them a little closer in.
How does that one get? How does this one get through this wall?
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't see that as wall, so he doesn't.
Okay.
Boop. They'll just stand in this door from this other guy.
Are they still chanting "Kill the bird"?
Yes, they are all still chanting "Kill the bird, kill the bird."
Okay. 5. He's saved, but they see that they're in a pretty poor situation here, and so he's just gonna bail. 1, 2. 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3.
I get an
4.
opportunity attack though.
Yes.
Should have targeted him.
Oh, yeah, because now it's going to deal damage to Bandit 7.
Yeah.
Just untarget Bandit 7 and target Bandit 5 and just do it again. Even if you miss, roll damage.
Okay. Do it again.
Ah, it's a hit, so. You targeted Bandit 7 again.
I thought I untargeted. God damn it. Who am I targeting? Apparently. Well, my menu's also blank. Okay.
Yeah, I don't see that you've targeted anybody right now.
Yeah, there you go.
I should be targeting 5.
Yep.
Yes. I'll roll damage. Okay. Didn't that have a modifier to it?
I have this
Wait, did
modifier.
that even deal damage to him?
Did it not?
It doesn't look like it.
Well, I tried rolling damage out of my rapier. I can try and attack him again till it works.
Oh, hold on, let's see. Rapier, 1d10, 1d... Let me see if I can do this. There we go, I did it.
Okay, also, I get to do my Divine Strike.
How come?
It's just a thing I get to do on attacks. That's my
Can you-
attack modifier.
Can you pop that out so I can see what it is?
Yeah. Go in the thing. Why isn't it going into chat? There it is.
What we can do in the future?
Oh, only on my turns, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's yeah. So,
Okay, so
you need
ignore
to
that damage.
clear that effect, and you'll have to add that effect before you roll damage.
Oh, okay.
It'll be the same thing like what I have to do with smite.
Yeah,
Gotcha. All right.
Bandit runs. I'll go ahead and clear Divine Strike from you.
Okay.
Okay, and then Bandit 6. He's gonna do very much the same thing. He's gonna bail.
All right.
I'm
So
gonna
let's.
take an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
Yep.
Why did you,
You didn't
roll?
untarget Bandit 7.
Oh, alright, okay. Do you want me to roll it again, or
No, just roll the damage for Bandit 6.
I get to re-roll that too? So just
So
add one.
add 1. Okay.
Be 12.
Okay. 2, 3, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Bandit 7. Just gonna run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And Bandit 8. 1, 2, 6. Bandit 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Runs. Okay. Crawford, you have the initiative.
All right, let's count. All right, this should be 40 over here. And not wanting them to get away,
Mm-hmm.
I will go ahead and cast Synaptic Static.
As this old ass man fucking books it. I have no idea what that is even. But they all failed.
It's about time, Jesus.
That's very unfortunate for them. And that is 8d6 psychic damage.
Oh. One of them is dying now. Bandit 7 is dead. As the psychic wail just like racks their brains and literally melts the one of Bandit, what was that, 7? Yeah, Bandit 7's brain melts. Anything else?
I was just checking the additional effect on it. I guess I'll yell out to that and don't you ruffians come back.
All right. Rogar, you have the initiative.
All right. I'm going to cast this to summon a celestial steed. and I'm going
That
to
takes 10 minutes, by the way.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see how far I can get on foot then. I think I have another way.
Clearly, you just need to jump on Steropi's back, as she can be your celestial steed.
Fuck off!
Ugh. Okay. So I'm going to cast this on myself. Expeditious Retreat, which allows me to move at an incredible pace.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm basically going to run, or I'm going to use my movement and then use my normal action to dash,
Okay.
because that's a bonus action.
Yeah.
And let me draw this out here. Oh, Christ. That.
Oh, there's a corner there. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 30 feet.
Okay, and then another 30. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll just go right into the lion's den.
Sure.
That's fine.
Okay. Okay. All right, Steropi, you're up.
Okay. Also gonna move. Is it still half like on diagonals? It's still 5.
Yeah,
and then
it's
10 and then
yeah, 5, 10, 5, 10, 5, 10.
5.
I think 5e may actually have done away with that, but that's how I've been operating for forever, and my brain just works that way.
So it still goes 5, 15, 20, 30. Right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I got 35, 40, and then I'm done. Oh wait, that's my movement. I have 40 movement. That's amazing. I can still attack.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what we're gonna do. This guy's in for it.
Yeah, you're just slowly working your way up to murder.
I can re-roll that too, which makes it.
So add
13?
3 to Bandit 8.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell me how much to add. That's
Just add 3.
okay.
Is he dead yet?
No.
Miss.
Yeah.
But I still have my polar mastery as my bonus action. Never mind.
Okay. Are you
All right,
finished?
that'll end my turn.
Ding's up.
All right, so 5, 15. Let me get to here. Move that guy, and then I'm going to use. I'm going to target this guy.
You stop knocking shit off the tree, you little shithead.
Okay, I'm targeting him.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Yes. But he's tried to
No,
dominate him.
he's
and-
no, he failed
Oh,
his
he
save.
failed. Oh yeah, he failed.
Yeah.
All right. So. do
Which one did you dominate?
5.
5. Okay. All right. That means. Where's
yeah.
dominate person? I wish I could just like open the spells
Mm-hmm.
without having to.
So I'm
dig it
going
open.
to tell him to stop his friends from leaving. Kill them if necessary.
Oh, so if you cast Dominate Person, it kills all of your tokens.
Okay, yeah, because concentration is out.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, because Dominate
it's a different
takes.
concentration. Yeah, sure.
Yes. That's that, and then where did Dominate Person go? I was reading that. Excuse me. There it is. Alteria's Charm, telepathic link. Issue commands while you're conscious. Specify simple general over there. Could you complete silver and doesn't receive further instruction? Blah blah blah. You can use your action to take. Well, okay, so on its turn, it's going to fulfill the command that you gave it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
Nope. That's okay.
So it is now his turn. They realize that they've run into a dead end. He's gonna turn and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 5.
That's the one dominated.
Yes. He's gonna try and stop his friends from leaving.
Gotcha.
All right, and he draws his swords and says, "We can go no further." Of course, his friends think he's fucking crazy, and realize again that they've backed themselves into a corner. And to Rogar, I don't think you would know that he's dominated. So him moving. Oh, it's only when they leave your area that you can make AOs. So okay.
Mm-hmm.
4, 5, 6. So that's an AOO from Steropi and Rogar if he wants to take it.
I will. Yep.
So
Me
against
too.
Bandit 6.
6. Okay.
It's 6. Okay.
Okay, he is gravely wounded. He's going to try and bail, but now he's going to get an AOO from... Alright, so Bandit 5. Going to target... Bandit 8. How do I... Oh. There. Okay. And attack... he misses. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One.
My AOO as well.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
And because he is passing by a warcaster, I will hit him with Booming Blade. Yep. Why doesn't it have an attack roll? Fuck. Alright. Well, can you do 8 damage to him, please?
Yeah. What is he? Bandit 8? That's 8. Yeah, that makes it...
Yeah, this one does it weird.
Okay. Taking his damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay.
Does he continue running?
Yes.
Okay, let me see, because with this spell at higher level, so it's 1d8, and then 5th level another 1d, makes it 2d8, and 11th it's 3, so it's an additional 4d8 of damage.
Okay, so
for
it only
moving
does...
Booming Blade.
Does it only do 1d8 base even at higher level?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
It's the movement part that's the big part
Yeah.
of it.
Hold on. Blah, 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 blah. At the spell's level, the spell's damage increases when you at 5th level. The melee
Yeah.
attack deals an extra 1d8 thunder damage to the target, and the damage the target takes from moving. So it should be 2d8.
As a base, yeah.
And then at actually 3, because both damage rolls increase by 1d8 at 11th level as well. So it was 3d8 damage base, and then 3d8 damage for moving.
Right.
So he's dead.
All right. He vibrated to death.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you hit him with the sword, and it cut him, and the wound just vibrated open until he was rent asunder.
Gross.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Gooey.
That's why you don't run from Bloodseeker.
All right, he's
That's
trying to
exactly
get the
why.
fuck out. All right. So that's 9. Crawford, you have the initiative. Now, what you have seen is Bandit number 5 attack the one that you killed.
So I can make the assertion that something's up with him.
Yes. Because he said, we can go no further, and then attacked his comrade that was trying to run.
What is the range on this? Plenty. All right. I will point a finger at the one running away and cast Finger of Death.
You already cast a... Oh, no, you cast a cantrip. Okay, so that's fine.
And that was a reaction, and Warcaster lets me cast a spell.
Yep. So he died.
Yeah.
You fingered him to death. Anything else? As he literally melts.
I will take one step forward to try and enclose this last one.
Okay.
That's of sound mind, apparently.
Okay. Rogar.
All right. Gonna Misty Step right behind this guy.
Nothing personnel, kid.
Yep, you got it. And we're gonna see if I can actually hit with the green flame blade. Oh, I should do this though. That.
Green flame.
And I think that's actually after I attack here. I just want to read it here quick. As part of the action, you must make a melee attack with the weapon. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. You cast green flame blade and then attack.
Is it on
Are
me?
you gonna agree? It looks like it.
Okay,
Says effect
cool.
1d8 fire.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so here we go.
That's a hit. Are you also gonna smite? No, you don't
No.
need to.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not
And then
going to.
the green flame blade should spread, I think.
Yes. How does it spread, though? I'm just gonna take a look. Unhit, blah, blah, blah. Green flame jumps from a target to a different creature of your choice that you can see within 5 feet, so it'll jump to the other bandit.
Yeah. So you need to make just the green flame damage.
Yeah, so
Does it say roll again or?
there's that. So I'll do that on him.
Okay. Okay. And then he needs to make another save, I believe, since he's been hit. What is it? What's the save? Wisdom?
Yeah.
And the DC is... Oh, it doesn't matter. He rolled a 20. So he's no longer domed. All right. Rogar, anything else?
I think this is coded wrong because it should be 3d8 damage, not 5 standard. The flame.
Oh, yeah, that is weird. Yep. I'll just roll 3d8.
But you know what? I should probably put it on
Oh,
myself.
you know what? He's got 1 HP left. He's dead. But you'll need to figure that out anyway.
Yes. Okay.
All right. He died. He's dead. The end. You have successfully completed your first encounter as level 17 characters. Slew many men.
They did not kill the bird.
They didn't kill the bird. They did wound the bird, at least slightly. More than anybody else, they did hurt. Well, actually, no,
They hurt me more.
they hurt Rogar the most.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So we're actually gonna call a break there because my dogs are starving. And feed them. So we're gonna take 10. So we'll call it 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock Pacific.
Sure.
Okay. And then we'll go over anything from combat and stuff.